top 6 tiers in England who are yet to score this season as we're underway. And Aston Villa playing from left to right as we look. Martinez in a lemon yellow, short sleeve shirts. Are you surprised he's been brought back in after obviously he was instigating a move or looking to get away from the club?
No, not at all. He's one of the best goalkeepers in world football. I think there was an element of the move was getting forced upon him because of the money that he's actually on, and they want him to shift wages, but he's a fantastic goalkeeper and the back line will be delighted that he's back in goal.
Stephen Warnock is with us here on BBC Radio 5 Live. We're also available on the BBC Sounds app. More choices to listen than ever before, and you think that this weekend we've got the World Athletics, the boxing, the golf, the horse racing, the cricket, Premier League football, the Women's World Cup Rugby Union, and no wonder that Sports Extra and Stream Sports Extra 2 and 3 will give you a choice of listening if you don't want the football. But this is the usual goal service, and Aston Villa caught in possession in midfield. McGinn and Grealish against his former club, picked up a few boos there from the Aston Villa travelling support. I think there are still a few late arrivals, aren't there? What was it? A horse on the rail tracks at nearby Formby.
Yeah, something like that. But everyone seems to be in. It seems packed, doesn't it? I mean, I was quite surprised how many empty seats there was about 5 minutes to go before kick-off, but now seems like everyone's in.
52,769 is the capacity here for the Hill Dickinson Stadium on Bramley Moor Dock in Liverpool. This bold design as Beto looks to hold the ball up. Bit of a tussle there with Mings. Mings goes to ground, then backs to his feet quickly. Plays it forward is Buendia. And then there was a little bit of hesitation from Digne, and that allowed Njai to nip him to the feet of Beto. Njai is up with him on the right-hand side. Here is Njai, right corner of the area, enters the box. Njai with a cross. Beto stubbed it. He had a real opportunity. If he hits it first time and gets a clean strike, that's going goalwards. But he didn't, and it's like he might have stood his standing leg. It's gone behind for a goal kick. We're going to go racing. The Park Stakes at Doncaster. John Hunt.
They're at halfway here, a 7-furlong trip in the Group 2 Park Stakes, and the field taken along by front runner Quinault. He's out in front by 2 lengths. Room service struggling at the back end of the field. Quinault, the leader, is chased by Marvel Man in the early stages. Audience is there on the outside, followed now by King's Gamble in 4th place. In 5th and pushed along is Zoom Zoom, and then comes the well-fancied Shadow of Light, but only 6th or 7th for the favourite, as now Marvel Man sweeps to the front. Furlong to go. Marvel Man goes on by 2 lengths. Audience giving vain chase. So too Quinault is struggling on. Next to him is King's Gamble, but this the easiest winner of the day so far. Marvel Man romps to victory in the Park Stakes for trainer Andrew Balding. He's won by 5 lengths, and Balding has both further and outsider Tariants to come in the St Leger.
Thank you, John, and we'll be back in good time for you. That race at Doncaster for the St Leger is due off at 3:40. You've not missed anything whilst we've been away, because Beto's effort, he did strike his standing leg and went behind for a goal kick. Tyrone Mings has gone down, and as soon as Tyrone Mings goes to ground with an injury, you think, I hope it's not his knees.
Yeah, I was just trying to see whether it is his knee or his calf. It was obviously Iliman Njai did great down that right-hand side, and as he went down the right-hand side, he got in a 1v1 situation, but the actual injury occurred before that incident, and he's hobbling as he gets put in a 1v1 situation with Iliman Njai. So this is a real concern for Aston Villa and for Tyrone Mings.
Well, Tyrone Mings is back on his feet, but he is walking rather gingerly at the moment. We'll get an update from Bournemouth. Sahel Sahi.
4 minutes played, Bournemouth 0, Brighton 0, but a disruption to the Brighton 11. Jack Hushelwood is off after twisting his right ankle in a challenge with Evan Nilsson. Yassin Ayari has replaced him. Bournemouth 0, Brighton 0.
Aston Villa are down to 10 temporarily. Tyrone Mings is just trying to run it off on that far side. But Unai Emery has actually told Pau Torres just to step up his warming up as he limbers on the touchline here at Everton's new home. 0-0 in the early stages, 4.5 minutes played.
Well, it should be 1-0 down. Aston Villa. It's a brilliant chance for Beto, and as it comes across to his right foot, he miscues it with his right foot and it hits his standing left foot. It's a shocker from Beto. It's a simple tap in. I must say that it should be 1-0.
We welcome listeners to the BBC World Service. Wherever you are in the world, it is a pleasure to have your company here at Everton's new home, where it is 0-0 between Everton and Aston Villa. Port Vale, who are yet to win this season in League One, though, have taken the lead at St James's Park. Exeter City 0, Port Vale 1 is the latest score in League One. And Mings, who had been off the field for the last 2 minutes, is back and able to participate. So whether you're listening on the World Service, 5 Live, or through the BBC Sounds app, it had torrential rain probably about an hour ago, but now the sun is shining. There's a pocket of blue sky away towards our left-hand side as McGinn closed down by Irabunum. You think of Irabunum and Digne and Grealish. There are a number of players in this respective starting 11s coming up against their former clubs. This Iliman Ndiaye, he was a doubt coming into the game, but he looked rather sprightly, picks it up, darts forward, lays it off towards Dewsbury Hall. Now out towards Grealish, and Grealish waits on this left touchline, running on his toes as Cash backpedals. Grealish teasing him, dragging the ball slowly with that right leg, and then infield to Irabunum, now with Keane. Every outfield player in the Aston Villa half. Everton attacking the north stand from right to left. This is Gay back with Tarkowski. There's a confidence, isn't there, about Everton, Stephen?
Yeah, there's a difference in the way that they set up as well. Now you've got two wide players who like to take people on in Grealish and Ndiaye, and they've got problem causers for the opposition, and that's exactly what you want now. It's about getting width. They look more confident in possession. I just wanted to touch on Aston Villa, though. I'm very surprised that you've got John McGinn on the right-hand side when you've got James Garner playing left-back. Well, McGinn's going to come in on his stronger left foot, and that suits James Garner.
Here is Ndiaye, rides one challenge. Referee Simon Hooper. I thought maybe he had a good look at it, might have given a free kick there to Everton, but he says instead it will be a goal kick. And Ndiaye has looked extremely sharp, and he was part of that Senegal side that went to the top of their group in World Cup qualifying in dramatic fashion, coming from 2-0 down to beat DR Congo 3-2. They'd also got a good win against Sudan as well. So Ndiaye has certainly had a rather eventful international break, as Emi Martinez is eventually going to be closed down by Dewsbury Hall. The goal kick was taken short. Everton are pressing high up the pitch. Cash now with Concert getting caught in possession. Here is Dewsbury Hall, he tees up Gay, tries to place it, blocked, might fall to Grealish, wouldn't sit for him. Grealish tries to curl it now, far post, on the stretch, Beto's header, clawed out, flags up. The whistle had gone. They're appealing for handball, but the whistle had gone because of the flag was up. But Aston Villa, again, under real pressure.
Well, it's still played out from the back and get caught, and everyone wonders why you try and play out from the back, and it's a dangerous ball from Konza into the midfield, into Bogart. He gets caught in possession, he's too slow, gets his pocket picked, but the ball in from Grealish to the back post from Beto. Yes, it was offside, but the save, that's why he's playing Martinez. Outstanding save.
Did ever so well. Strong left hand, just managed to claw it away as he reached towards that top corner, his top left-hand corner. 0-0 it remains. Commentary on Sports Extra is Newcastle Wolves. Mike Maine has the latest.
And it is 0-0. Hwang close twice in the opening minute. One shot deflected from the resultant corner, a volley that forced Pope into a save. Murphy's had a dipping shot just wide for the home side, but it is still Newcastle 0, Wolves 0.
Been a strong start from Everton.
It's been a very good start from Everton. They're quick. Obviously the new ground, the noise around the stadium, it's really picked the Everton players up. But one thing you said to me before was the difference in Everton. They're athletic up front. That's the difference that they've brought into this team. That's what they've added.
Crystal Palace Sunderland, John Bennett.
It's 0-0, but Sunderland are looking really confident. A Diarra cross almost picking out Isidore. Crystal Palace restricted to a Lerma shot over, 0-0.
And they're not afraid to go direct. I thought I was quite safe in handing to John there, and Tarkowski all of a sudden has hit a long pass. It must have been a good 50-60 yards, drops over the shoulder and just got away from Beto, but
yeah.
As it went over the head, it was Mings, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mings just didn't read the flight of the ball. I think he thought it was going closer to his goalkeeper, and whether his goalkeeper might have come and claimed it, but Beto, a loose touch, very difficult skill to bring it down. Might have been better trying to hit it first time as it dropped over his shoulder, but it's all Everton at the moment, and Matty Cash now concedes a free kick in a dangerous position.
Barnsley lead Reading by a 0 in League One at Oakwell, and another goal in South Yorkshire is at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Bristol City 1. We'll get news of that after this free kick. which Everton are going to take. It's level with the penalty area on the left-hand side. Dewsbury Hall and Garner are the two standing over it. Aston Villa have got everybody back. Good noise inside the impressive arena here down by the docks in Liverpool. Seamus Coleman is just starting to warm up. So Garner with the in-swinger, Dewsbury Hall with the out-swinger. 0-0. Garner's going to leave it. Dewsbury Hall to take it. In it comes now, and the header from Michael Keane is off target. So as promised, that goal at Hillsborough, Betty Glover.
Bad start for Sheffield Wednesday has been coming for Bristol. Ball swung in, Scott Twine cut the ball back, Dickey ran onto it and got it into the back of the net. Easy as you like. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Bristol City 1.
Sheffield Wednesday, who are yet to win. Bristol City, who actually are still unbeaten this season. Emi Martinez again is going to eventually clear his lines for another short goal kick. And once again it's met by a blue shirt of Everton. In fact, Tarkowski was fouled. Aston Villa just can't get into the game.
No, they can't get a foothold. The ball out from Martinez wasn't great into Buendia. Tarkowski stepped out off Ollie Watkins and won the first ball, and like you say, that they're struggling to find a foothold in the game. But Everton, great start so far within the first 12 minutes.
Dewsbury Hall has also had a rather impressive early start to his Everton career. He's actually played more minutes before today, 270 minutes in the Premier League, than he did throughout his Premier League time at Chelsea. And no English player has created more chances so far in the top flight as Grealish holds off Rodgers. Back towards Garner, and Garner will go all the way back to Irabunam, to Pickford. Pickford just plays it out of his penalty area in green away towards their right. Downfield it goes, headed away by Buendia before it can reach Beto. Irabunam slides in, out it goes for a throw on that far side. Aaron Paul's at Craven Cottage. Fulham leads
0-0 here. Fulham 0, Leeds 0. Really bitey, feisty battle between these two sides. No concrete chances, but Fulham with a free kick in a dangerous position over on the far side. Harry Wilson stepping up to take it. 0-0.
Wigan Athletic are leading Doncaster Rovers by 1-0 in League One. It's the goal service and the commentary here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Ball up towards Watkins. Tarkowski will usher that ball all the way back to Jordan Pickford, away towards our right-hand side. Pickford, his 450th club appearance of his career, as again Everton prepared to go direct up towards Beto. Makes that run in behind Compter, Pickford's England teammate, lays it off towards Grealish, quickly on the attack, running with purpose into the penalty area left-hand side. Plays it back, Dewsbury Hall looks at his options. Garner provides the support now from left back to Dewsbury Hall. Here once again is Garner, cutting in now off the left touch line, lays it off, and the ball from Irabunam back towards Keane, and then Keane will go back towards Pickford. They are playing with a degree of control. 13 minutes in, 0-0.
Yeah, they are. They had an opportunity there to sling the ball into the box. They refused it. Thought Garner was just going to whip it in on that right foot, but Beto's a willing runner. He really is. He makes some great runs in behind. He stretches the back line of Aston Villa. It's just a shame his finishing, and he just doesn't have that confidence in front of goal, because as we said earlier on, Everton should have been 1-0 up, and this is a new thing this season, isn't it? Long throws.
Yes.
Gone back to the old school of long throws.
Old school is new school, said Chris Wilder as the League Managers Association many a long time ago, as in comes the throw, flicked on. Mind you, I bet there's a few Sheffield United fans who still wish they had Chris Wilder in charge.
I was going to say the same myself.
My word.
Grass isn't always greener.
No. Headed away by Irabunam. What a sorry start it has been for the Blades, losing last night 5-0 at Ipswich. And Sheffield Wednesday, it's not a good time for the Steel City, whichever your allegiance in that part of the world. Here is the blue and white of Everton, who have made their best start in 4 seasons. However, Rodgers picks up on a loose ball, but it was a weak forward ball towards Watkins and easily cut out by Tarkowski. Look back actually at Everton, and Everton have failed to win any of their opening 5 games in the last 3 seasons. New surroundings, new start, new feel. And Grealish on this near side, the left, back towards Dewsbury Hall. Wigan Athletic have got a second goal. They now lead Doncaster Rovers by 2-0. Doncaster, who'd won their last 5 going into that game. And Jai rolls away from Digne, runs forward, low cross into the penalty area. and it's cleared by Bogard, out for an Everton throw. John Bennett at Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0. Sunderland continue to be the better side. Noah Siddiqui with a chance, left-footed shot, tight angle over the bar and wide. Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0.
Talking of Sheffield United, you'd have seen Iliman Ndiaye many a time at Bramall Lane, and he's back in English football after that spell at Marseille. But he is one of those players who you enjoy to watch. He just glides across the surface from the long throw. Beto with a turn, strikes Tarkowski, falls to Grealish, saved by the legs of Martinez, spooned up in the air, and in the end it was Mings who has to get there before his own goalkeeper to head it behind for a corner kick. Fleetwood lead Walsall by a goal to nil.
Right, Mustard took a deflection from the shot from Grealish because it just wrong-footed Emi Martinez in the Aston Villa goal, but it's that long throw in. Michael Keane gets the first flick on, and then they keep it alive, and as it falls to the feet of Grealish, really good strike low. But is it just a matter of time before Everton make the breakthrough?
Luton Town 0, Plymouth 1 in League 1. Bristol Rovers 1, Barrow 0 is the latest score in League 2. You're up to date, 5 Live in the World Service. Everton have a corner kick right hand side. Dewsbury Hall, unorthodox from the goalkeeper, but the referee's whistle has blown. Garner had knocked the ball into the empty net, but the whistle had long since blown. I can only imagine, now I say unorthodox, because he must have been held the way that somehow he managed to get a left hand to it as he fell to the ground.
Jack Grealish had hold of his other arm, sort of interlocked if you like, and Emi Martinez couldn't get off the ground. He could only get a single hand to it and a punch, and the referee saw it straight away, Simon Hooper.
Now Aston Villa with Buendia, plays it out to far side to Digne, back with Buendia. We've got world title boxing on 5 Live tonight. In fact, the undercard will start at 7 o'clock on Sports Extra 2. But that fight in Belfast between Lewis Crocker and Paddy Donovan is at 5 Live at 10. And in boxing parlance here, Aston Villa are on the ropes.
Oh, they certainly are. They're trying to find a way out of this press from Everton. They're trying to make sure that Everton can't play long direct balls, but Unai Emery hasn't moved out of his technical area down in front of us. He is not happy at all.
Well, they've got a throw, have Aston Villa, which is down by the corner flag as they play from left to right, attacking that giant south stand that holds 13,000 supporters. Cash waits to take it. And then that was surely a foul throw. Yeah, that gives us an opportunity to hear of a goal at Bournemouth. Sahel Sahi.
Bournemouth have the lead. Bournemouth 1, Brighton 0. It's come out of nothing. The ball was bobbling about on the edge of the area. Alex Scott picked it up, turned beautifully, lashed it home left-footed, 18 yards out. What a finish. Bournemouth 1, Brighton 0.
And an opportunity to put Everton under pressure, and then that happens.
Such a poor throw from Matty Cash, and again you look at Unai Emery's body language, shrugging his shoulders, sort of looking down at the floor, not impressed one bit by Matty Cash. But they haven't started well, Villa. They need to up the game, because if they don't, it could be a long afternoon.
Okay, actually strikes him and runs away from him the ball, and Tielemans then will tide it up for Aston Villa. Mings then passes the ball out towards Digne. Will he keep the ball in play? Yes, he will. Has to accelerate to do so. Down by the corner flag. Digne now with a cross. O'Brien is there to head it away on the near side of the 6-yard box. Tielemans plays the ball back to Konsa. His forward ball. Buendia able to turn to Rodgers. Rodgers is challenged. Almost falls into the path of Buendia. Keane will clear. Beto and Mings. No foul, says Simon Hooper, as Mings comes away with the ball over on that far side. Now it's with Rodgers, leaving it for Buendia, but stepping into the challenge was Tarkowski, and then giving it now to Irabunam, and Irabunam will run forward with it towards the halfway line. Gay has gone out wide on the right hand side, drops to his knees. Simon Hooper will say that will be a free kick. When you look at the various clubs in the Premier League who have players on international duty, Everton had 8. Only Leeds United of the Premier League clubs had fewer on international duty with 5. So in that respect, David Moyes would have had I would guess, a nucleus of this squad that he's been able to work with.
Yeah, but it depends how you manage that time. Do you overtrain the players? Do you undertrain them? How much time do you give them off, with it being so early on in the season? I was actually flying out last Friday to Spain. I saw one of the Everton players in the airport as well, so they're obviously being given a little bit of time off. But it's how you manage it. It's not as simple as just saying, oh, you get rest. rest doesn't mean everything in football. You've still got to keep them active and busy.
Ball up towards Beto, tries to stab it back into the path of Njai, and Digne, who was the left back just tucked in, was able to win it back for Aston Villa. That's Stephen Warnock who's offering us the insight, a former England international, of course, as the referee has given a free kick here. I thought he'd taken the ball cleanly.
Yeah, I don't understand that. We need to see it again. Tarkowski with his head in his hands, wondering how, and you can hear what the thoughts are in and around the fans, but straight away I thought he'd won the ball.
Goal at Coventry, Mark Webber.
Where it's Coventry 0, Norwich 1 against the run of early play. Matthias Christgarden from Norwich weaved into the area and managed to find space to slot it home to make it Coventry City 0, Norwich City 1.
You can actually see the words of James Tarkowski saying, I got the ball, with which he did, in the challenge with Morgan Rogers, and then he's mouthed, that's a joke.
Yeah, he's saying the follow through Simon Hooper is not right from James Tarkowski. There's got to be contact in football. There's too many challenges now where if you collide with a player or there's a little bit of follow through, that's called momentum, and that is part of football.
No action was taken. Didn't see a yellow card from the referee Simon Hooper. Peterborough United are leading Wycombe by 1-0. Peterborough, who are yet to win, in fact they haven't actually won since the 1st of April against a Wycombe side without an away win in League One this season. And Bristol City have got a second goal at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Bristol City 2. Luton have equalised. Luton 1, Plymouth 1, and you're up to date as we will get an update from St James's Park. Mike Mine.
21 minutes played, 0-0. The Premier League's bottom side, Wolves giving themselves a really good account at the moment, testing the Newcastle defence. But you were talking of long throws not so long ago. Livramento from the left-hand side caused chaos. Murphy ghosting in on the back of the 6-yard box, hit it straight at Sam Johnston. Newcastle 0, Wolves 0.
Grealish, edge of the area, doesn't shoot, comes back inside and will win a corner. Commentary of that one, by the way, at Newcastle. Wolves is on Sports Extra. Everton, the momentum is still with the home side. Stoke City 1, Birmingham 0 is the latest score in the Championship. Stephen?
Yeah, well, they're winning every second ball, Everton in that midfield area. Aston Villa really struggling to win those competitive battles. And then in wide areas, Everton a lot more confident as well.
So Dewsbury Hall places the ball down. Burton Albion 0, Lincoln City 1. Burton Albion without a win in 4, Gary Bowyer's side. As Dewsbury Hall waits on this near side, the left. Everton Royal Blue shirts playing from right to left. Clips it in. Martinez is struggling. He actually fell backwards there. Tarkowski, referee, has given a free kick once again. So let's get news to that goal at Stoke. Pat Murphy.
Goals come from the centre-back, Bosun Lowell. A high, stooping header from a corner. Alsop, who just made a magnificent save from Mubaba, couldn't quite get to it. They deserve it, Stoke. They're playing brilliantly. Stoke 1, Birmingham 0.
And that second goal from Bristol City with Betty Glover.
Emil Rees with his third of the season. Lovely ball from Mehmeti across the face of goal. Emil Rees was there. He was timed his run perfectly, tapped it in. Mehmeti down the left is so threatening. Wednesday can't contain him. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Bristol City 2.
Thank you, Betty. Here is Cash. Rogers can't control it. We'll run through to Michael Keane. Tidies up all the way back to Jordan Pickford. 7 successive clean sheets he's kept whilst he's been the England goalkeeper, but he's out of his goal there. And as it fell to Buendia with the vision knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he must have been about 6-7 yards forward of the centre circle, and he's gone to hit it first time right-footed, but it was off target.
Yeah, well, Jordan Pickford found himself almost in the left-back position, and as it dropped to Buendia, he was miles out of his area. Just couldn't get the right purchase on the ball. He tried to drill it hard and low. It was a big opportunity.
There's been a goal at Ibrox. You'll know which way it's gone when you hear the noise behind Gavin Wallace.
And what noise would that be, Deno? It is Rangers 0, Hearts 1. Lawrence Shankland. Claudio Braga picks it up inside the Rangers half. Darts forward. Shankland overlaps, goes far side of Butland. It is Rangers 0, Hearts 1.
Certainly not having an easy time of it, Russell Martin. So they are behind again. They've fallen behind a few times already in the early stages up in Scotland. 0-0 it remains here. We're in the 25th minute of this contest. We've got the St Ledger coming up in probably about 15 minutes time. We're crossing to Doncaster and John Hunt. No other goals elsewhere around the country to tell you about, as Aston Villa with Tielemans plays the ball to Cash. Grealish looks to close him down. Dewsbury Hall, Everton working hard off the ball. Even Beto's back there as well. Tielemans tries to wriggle clear to Rodgers, to McGinn on the overlap. Cash first time cross, takes the deflection. Keane able to clear. It's a late flag. Offside, free kick to Everton, 0-0.
Yeah, best moment of the game for Aston Villa. Quick moving the ball, 1 and 2 touch, shifted Everton's midfield press finally. A lot better from them. Just the run was a little bit too early for Matty Cash to go in behind, but it was a great opportunity.
Let's get an update from West Brom with Charlie Slater.
24 minutes gone, all West Brom all the time, though it is goalless. Their best chance from a Jed Wallace cross. It found Isaac Price on the volley, 18 yards out, straight at the goalkeeper, 0-0.
Just been checking my notes from the Old Firm a few weeks ago. Rangers going into that game with their worst start in 42 years. And they are behind to Hearts then at Ibrox. No other goals elsewhere to tell you about ironic cheers from the Everton supporters. Normally when you get a new stadium, it takes a while for the atmosphere to take hold, doesn't it? I wouldn't say that's the case here.
No, it hasn't at all. I think that was one of the things. I think sometimes you wonder where fans will position themselves. They're so used to being in certain areas within Goodison, and will you get those same people around you that create that atmosphere? There's been no problem at all with that. I just wonder as well whether the safe standing as well helps behind the goal to our right hand side and the south stand. It certainly seems to be adding a little bit more to the stadium.
The voice of Stephen Warnock on BBC Radio 5 Live in the World Service, 0-0. Fleetwood 1, Walsall 1. So Walsall have got an equaliser. Chesterfield 0, MK Dons 1 is the latest score, also in League 2. Is it me, or has Simon Hooper started getting whistle happy?
Yeah, he has a little bit, but I do think that was the right decision there. He tried to let the game go on a little bit before, but it was one of those incidents where he just clipped. It was better when on Bogard, where he just clipped his ankles, brought him to the ground. Everton fans, they don't like it, but had it been the other way, they would have been furious as well.
Back to Newcastle and Mike.
Well, Yerson Mosquera's just had a lengthy treatment inside the Wolves penalty area. I think he took a shot from Newcastle's new signing Nick Voltemada at full pelt, but he's off the pitch. He'll come back on shortly. Newcastle 0, Wolves 0, 27 minutes play.
That commentary's on Sports Extra. Not for the first time, Aston Villa are trying to play out from the back and are almost getting themselves in a right old mess.
Yeah, Temi Martinez, arguably the most experienced player on the pitch, and he's the one playing short passes into his midfield. And you think, of all the people that wouldn't want people to receive a ball deep in the penalty area, is one of his own players, and he's just putting his team in so much danger.
Pickford strikes it first time left-footed, and Jai tries to get underneath it. Downward header from Concert. Dewsbury Hall leaping into that challenge, cleared then by Matty Cash. Tarkowski with a high right leg steps forward, and then Irabunam's ball out towards O'Brien was just too far ahead of the Everton right back, and it was delivered with pace, and it was actually arcing away from him, and so it went out for an Aston Villa throw on that far side as weak autumnal sunshine here on Merseyside, 0-0.
Yeah, I think he just got caught up with the momentum of the way the game was going then, and crowd was picking up as Tarkowski stepped in, and he just needed to compose himself a little bit. But again, Everton, the pressing so high, Aston Villa finding it so difficult to get any foothold in the game. Now they're trying to slow it down to the speed that we know they like to slow it down to, but the press again from Everton's really positive.
Shrewsbury Town 0, Salford City 1 is the latest score in League 2. Aston Villa go back. Concert in the shadows of the main stand here, and then Tielemans just outside the centre circle, back to Concert, short diagonal ball. Tielemans, the Belgian international, towards Buendia, tries to get away, but the two number 10s and Jai, I know we're quite high up and a long way. I thought Njai with the right foot got the ball to prod it away from Buendia. Buendia goes to ground, and Simon Hooper says it's a free kick.
I'll say I thought it was a free kick. I thought Buendia just nudged it away from Eliman Njai, did enough just to take it away from him, and that foot that you're talking about from Njai just sweep the legs of Buendia.
As free kick for Aston Villa, 0-0. Tielemans stands over it, and he plays the ball out towards the far side. Digne, left hand side. Digne closed down by Njai and loses the ball. There's a goal at Newcastle. Mike Minay.
£69 million well spent. Nick Voltemada scores on his Newcastle debut. away to the left-hand side, cross came in from the right, big header as you'd expect from the tall striker, and into the left-hand side of the goal. Newcastle 1, Wolves 0.
Alexander who?
Voltemada.
I think they'll certainly be welcoming his first goal, and for Isak, who's not guaranteed necessarily to start that game tomorrow at Burnley, 2 o'clock kickoff. Certainly Arne Slot was saying that they're going to have to measure his minutes in the early stages. It's not about the next 2 weeks, it's about the next 6 years. Commentary of that, incidentally, at Turf Moor will be on 5 Live before the Manchester derby, City United at 4:30. Bristol Rovers 2, Barrow 0. It's becoming disjointed with the referee's decisions. John Bennett watching Crystal Palace Sunderland.
It's 0-0, but Yeremy Pino so close to a perfect home debut for Crystal Palace. His shot just wide. He's just been clattered as well by Reynildo, but luckily he's okay after a long stoppage. Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0.
Grealish just trying to get away from Cash, tight behind him, holding his shirt, clearly pulling the back of that royal blue shirt was the Polish international Matty Cash. And Irabuna will win a throw for Everton off the legs of Morgan Rogers, the PFA Young Player of the Year. Harrogate Town are leading at Swindon by a goal to 0. Swindon, who've won 4 successive matches in League Two. They were second this morning. Simon Weaver's side have taken the lead in the Premier League earlier. Arsenal went to the top of the table after that 3-0 victory over Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth lead Brighton and Hove Albion by a goal to 0. Newcastle are 1-0 up at home to Wolves. Garner with a throw on this near side, and it's flicked on. Keane is there, and then it's caught by Martinez. He might have just got one either on the hand or in the ribs there from Keane. I think it actually came off a Villa head.
Yeah, I think it did. I mean, Beto won the first initial flick on, and then credit to Emi Martinez. He was the one who was alive to the situation. The ball just lost its momentum, but they're in danger from long throws, Everton.
Here is Njai running with the ball at his feet, making inroads as well. Gay's in support. Gay helps it on its way. Here is Grealish. Grealish in towards the penalty area. Can he get a decisive goal? He goes out wide and he fires it left-footed in low. And it comes off the shins of Konsa and behind for an Everton corner kick, 0-0.
Yeah, he's petrified, Matty Cash, in a 1v1 situation. He just knew he couldn't dive in on Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish held all the cards in that situation. Gets to the byline, tries to get the cross back, but good positional sense from Ezri Konsa.
Grimsby Town 0, Cambridge United 1 is the latest score in League Two, as Dewsbury Hall on this near side, the Everton left, still goalless here with a corner kick. In it goes now, just over the top. In fact, it was Garner, wasn't it, who's clipped it in right-footed, and it was a teasing ball into that 6-yard area.
Yeah, Michael Keane with the flick. He's had a great opportunity there to win that header. He comes from behind Emi Martinez initially, makes the run in front of him, then gets in front of Tyrone Mings. A little flick towards the near post, just a little bit too much on it. He only needed to glance it, got too much contact. Another opportunity for Everton.
Dundee 0, Motherwell 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership at Dens Park. Martinez is able to pick his pass from that goal kick, out to Digne, far side the left. Infield now to Tielemans, he gives it away. Straight towards Dewsbury Hall, forward ball towards Beto on the stretch, couldn't gather it in. Cleared away by the Aston Villa defence, only as far as Garner. Here is Keane, back out towards Garner, down the left-hand side. That was late by Cash, catching Grealish. Going to get a yellow card. First booking of the game, Matty Cash booked, Everton free kick.
Yeah, silly from Matty Cash, absolutely brilliant from Jack Grealish. Knew exactly what he wanted to do. He just accelerated towards the ball right at the last second. Matty Cash thought he could win the ball, just pinches it round the corner. Cash leaves the foot in. Now he's booked, now he's in trouble, because every time that the ball goes out into that left-hand side, isolate Jack Grealish against Matty Cash. We might see a little bit of a positional change here, because I think Bogard might end up at right back and Matty Cash might end up at right wing. Tuck McGinn in alongside Tielemans and inside, because they're getting the run around in midfield. Aston Villa.
He actually used to play, didn't he, in the on the wing for Nottingham Forest before he was converted into a fullback. As now in the 34th minute of the game here at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, the Everton supporters rise to their feet in memory of Paul Marion, who sadly has passed away, a day after the Brighton and Hove Albion game at the age of 34. And his picture actually comes on the giant screens at either end of the stadium. and applause in his memory, and even the Aston Villa supporters are also joining in. Nice touch.
Yeah, lovely touch. I saw this on a lot of people's social medias, friends that I know who were close with Paul, so very sad day. Well, a lovely gesture by Everton and the Aston Villa fans.
Tranmere Rovers 1, Newport County 0 in the Championship, Wrexham 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1, and in League One, our featured game, as Aston Villa are attacking, Tarkowski stretches, gets there before Buendia, but he wins it back towards Rodgers, shot comes in, takes the deflection, penalty at Stockport, Adam Cottier.
Oliver Norwood is lining it up for Stockport here in a push in the penalty area on Odin Bailey, and Cardiff, who've only conceded one goal so far this season in League One, about to face this penalty. Stockport twice close already, and Norwood will step up here with the goalkeeper waiting on his line, and he scores. 1-0 to Stockport.
So Stockport County leading Cardiff City, who were knocked off their perch at the top of League One by Bradford City, who beat Huddersfield by 3-1. The first league meeting between the two in 18 years, and Bradford's impressive start to the season continues. Northampton beat Blackpool by 1-0 in the early game in League One, and the early fixtures in League Two. Accrington got their first win of the season, 1-0 winners against Colchester. Crawley 2, Cheltenham 0, and the three results in the Championship: Charlton 1, Millwall 1, Oxford 2, Leicester 2, Preston 2, Middlesbrough 2. Let's get the betting then for the St Leger. John Hunt.
And very tight indeed at the top of the market, Ian, between Scandinavia and Lambourne. Scandinavia just favourite at around 5-2. Karmers is a 4-1 chance, looks a big threat to them all, I reckon. Stay True 8-1, and Rahib 14-1, with Tarriance and Further both 20-1. But as they arrive at the post in the Doncaster sunshine, Scandinavia just favoured ahead of Lambourne and Karmers.
Thank you, John. We'll be with you very, very soon. Reading have equalised at Oakwell in League One. Barnsley 1, Reading 1. No other goals to tell you. Oh, in fact, a part of another one at Hillsborough for Betty Glover.
And it's gone Bristol City's way once again. Wednesday just had a good spell of pressure, but Bristol City on the counter-attack have another. Mehmeti again, some terrible defending. Wednesday couldn't clear it. Mehmeti slotted it home. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Bristol City 3.
So coverage of the St Leger is 2 or 3 minutes away. This is BBC Radio 5 Live in the World Service. In the sunshine now, down by the docks, where it is Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. And Beto putting Mings under pressure. Mings goes down the line. Interception though from Njai before Digne. Hemmed in towards the corner flag in front of the Aston Villa supporters as Njai tries to roll away from his man. And then they've actually doubled up on him. And Buendia's intervention was crucial for Villa, but still they can't get out of their own box. Buendia keeps the ball in play. Rodgers comes back to help out. He heads it now towards Bogard, but Everton are pressing. Gay ratting around in the midfield. There was a foul in there, and it'll be an Aston Villa free kick midway through their own half. Everton work so hard off the ball.
Yeah, they do, and that's that athleticism that I talked about before. Now they can get around the pitch, and it's something that will take time to see more consistently from Everton. But here come Aston Villa.
Watkins to McGinn. He tees up Tielemans. No width on that left-hand side. He went to pass it that way. Instead they go towards the right. Cash with a cross. Blocked by a sliding Garner. He started the season in superb fashion as James Garner, whether it be at left-back or in midfield. Here now is Tielemans. Digne has made the run and Tielemans has spotted him. Oh, and then O'Brien ducked underneath it. And I think Digne would actually stop going after the ball.
Yeah,
Goal kick.
It's the gamble you take as a fullback, and you think, are they going to gamble on you winning the first header and maybe see where the ball's going to drop, because you're backpedaling, you're not really going to get much distance on the header, and that's exactly what Luca Digne did. A little bit of a gamble from Jake O'Brien, but it paid off this time.
How is the mood at Ibrox, Gavin Wallace?
It's changed a little bit because Stilo Asgard has just smacked one off the crossbar, albeit the German goalkeeper just touched it on. Still 1-0 to Hearts at the moment, but Rangers coming back into it, Deno.
He got a hat-trick, didn't he, in midweek in that thumping of Moldova for Norway. Couldn't quite match the haul of Erling Haaland as Gay wins the challenge, that 50-50 in the midfield. Wimbledon 0, Rotherham 1 is the latest score in League One, and Jai slows it down and then looks to accelerate and then goes on the outside of Digne, and he's left Digne for dead, and Jai now sends over the cross from the right hand side, collected by Grealish, left hand side of the penalty area, 6 yards up. Grealish shoots, blocked, spins out to the edge of the area, stabbed forward by Rodgers, laid off by Watkins. Bogard now in towards McGinn. Rodgers and Watkins going on ahead of him. Instead it's a floated ball, played very well by McGinn, and he looked for Buendia, and now Digne is joining the attack, and here is the former Everton defender infield towards Tielemans. Back towards Buendia. They're now in the penalty area, Aston Villa, and the cross is gathered in by Pickford. Chance at Bournemouth, Sahel Sahi.
Still Bournemouth 1, Brighton 0. 5 minutes to play in the first half, Ian, but a chance for Brighton, and Yankuba Minter racing down the right hand side. He fired in the shot towards the near post. It was neatly turned away by the Bournemouth goalkeeper Petrovic. Bournemouth 1, Brighton 0.
Bit more even now, isn't it?
Yeah, they're coming back into it, Aston Villa. It's just getting a little bit more of a basketball game, if you like, a bit end to end. But the one thing I'd say, Dano, I would pay money to watch Iliman Ndiaye. He's a superb footballer. You think of the money they pay for him, it's around about £15 million, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
From Marseille. In today's money, that is an incredible bit of business.
Yeah, it was a 5-year deal too, but he is a joy to watch. Since Aston Villa got promoted back to the top flight in 2019, they're actually unbeaten in 12 league meetings against Everton. They've won 9, they've drawn 3, so in that sense they might be the perfect opposition to get their first goal of the season, as Rodgers will win a corner off the legs of Keane. Keane was just drawn out of defence. Aston Villa corner kick on this near side, the right, 4 minutes to go to the break.
Yeah, they have to be so careful, Everton, because what we do know about Aston Villa is in forward areas, Ollie Watkins, Morgan Rodgers, Buendia, they've got creative players, and they've got players that can just turn the game on its head in a moment, and that's what Everton are fearful of.
We'll get a quick goal update from Owen Gwyneth at Swansea.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a footballing game so far, but Swansea are ahead. Swansea 1, Hull City 0. The ball being worked into the box, and on the turn, Vipotnik turning, smashing it in. His 4th goal this season. Swansea 1, Hull 0.
Hull without an away win since April the 5th. Swansea are unbeaten at home so far this season. Peterborough 2, Wickham 0. Peterborough then have got a second goal as they look for their first win of the season. Aston Villa taking the time with a corner kick. We're going racing for the St Ledger very, very soon. On this near side, the right, Pickford under pressure from Digne's left-footed ball in swinging corner. Gets away and deals with it well under pressure. 3 minutes to go to half-time. Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. Martinez plays a flat ball straight through to his opposite number, Jordan Pickford.
I just never understand that. You've got an outfield player in front of you who's 5 yards away, and you think you can ping a better ball as a goalkeeper. That's why you're a goalkeeper, because you don't have the ability to hit the same passes. That's someone, it just baffles me.
We're going racing. It's the St Ledger, John Hunt.
The runners, 7 of them, about to turn into the straight here at Doncaster, with Lambourne, the Derby winner, leading the field ahead of the favourite Scandinavia. The 2 of them are stablemates. They're 1 and 2 at the moment. 3rd place for Karmers. Karmers only been beaten once in his career. He's travelling strongly in 3rd. Aidan O'Brien's 3rd string, Stay True, is in 4th place. Then comes Further followed by his stablemate Tariance, and Rahab is right at the back end of the field. They come down the Doncaster home straight, the St Ledger, the last of the 5 British racing classics. Lambourne, the Derby winner, having some pressure applied to him now by both Scandinavia, and Karmers is now committing down the outside, and Karmers nosing alongside Lambourne. Scandinavia between the 2 of them. Then comes Stay True. Great battle here. It's been unrelenting the pace, and Scandinavia now just forges on. Scandinavia with Stay True down the outside. Lambourne at the moment. It's an Aidan O'Brien 1-2-3. Karmers is in 4th place. Rahab is staying on in taking fashion now. Switch to the far side running rail. Scandinavia's in front though. Lambourne, the Derby winner, is now beaten. Scandinavia, Stay True. Rahab is still staying on strongly over on the far side running rail. He's going to be the danger to Scandinavia and Rahab. Scandinavia just does enough to win it from Rahab in 2nd place. Stay True came next, and Lambourne ultimately was well beaten. So too was Karmers by about a head or maybe a neck. Scandinavia has given Aidan O'Brien a 9th St Ledger victory in the hands of Tom Marquand. Tom riding because Ryan Moore broke his leg a week or 2 ago, and that's a 2nd St Ledger win for Tom Marquand. And Ian, I know you like some facts and figures, but that is a hat-trick of wins for Aidan O'Brien now in the St Ledger, and that is the first time that has happened by a trainer for 185 years.
Wow, what an impressive statistic that is, John. Thank you very much. not missed anything whilst we've been away in terms of action. It remains Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. Swindon, though, have got an equaliser at home to Harrogate Town. Swindon 1, Harrogate 1. And Queen's Park Rangers have got a second goal at Wrexham. Wrexham, still without a home win in the Championship this season, have fallen 2-0 behind there to QPR. There's been a disallowed goal, but to who to? Mike Minor at Newcastle.
Newcastle thought they'd had a second with Jacob Murphy, a composed finish, but in the build at the man who teed him up, Harvey Barnes, free down the left-hand side. It was him who went a little too early, so it's still Newcastle 1, Wolves 0.
BBC Radio 5 Live and the World Service. We're going to find out how much additional time we will have here. And as the fourth official hoists up that electronic board, it will be 2 minutes, either that or I've offended my producer Gary Flintoff, as Aston Villa will get a direct free kick, fractionally left of centre, but certainly within shooting distance.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a dangerous position, and one thing you'll know is Luca Digne will edge his way across. It's Morgan Rogers who has the ball in his hand. I can't believe you questioned Gary when it was the loudest tannoy announcement ever of 2 minutes of added extra time.
You what, sorry?
You're just looking forward to your donut at half-time, aren't you? I've heard a rumour that you're after another toffee donut. You've had one.
I wouldn't be paying £6.50 for another one. But if you can grab a freebie, then I'll gladly take that. Exeter 0, Port Vale 2. There's a free kick to Aston Villa, which is 25 yards out, shade probably more than that, out from goal. Aston Villa playing from left to right. You've got Digne. The referee's just backed into Luca Digne, almost stood on his toes. Morgan Rogers is there.
You've got to be careful doing that. If you remember Bruno, that knocked him out of sync and moaned and blamed everyone for his poor penalty, didn't he?
It certainly did.
What are you giggling at?
I'm just giggling at whole city of equalised. We'll get news of that goal in a moment. Let's just watch this free kick. Buendia or Digne? It is Digne into the wall. So Owain Gwynedd at Swansea.
Swansea 1, Hull City 1 against it under play slightly. Former Swansea hero Ollie McBurney with the equaliser. Ball played in from the left hand side. He slides in the 6-yard box to poke it in, and McBurney strike gets up, doesn't celebrate, but it's Swansea 1, Hull City 1.
Aston Villa with a throw, far side the left, in towards Mings at the near post, and the referee's blown his whistle, and that will be a free kick to...
No, I think it's a foul throw,
Another one.
Yeah, I think he's saying
he stepped onto the pitch.
Yeah. I mean, he's picked up a lot of minor things, but obviously, if it's a foul throw, it's a foul throw.
That's the second foul throw from Aston Villa in this half.
Both from the fullbacks as well.
Nothing wrong with fullbacks.
You're having a pop, are you?
No. Stephen Warnock won 101 appearances and 3 goals during your time at Aston Villa.
Yeah, not prolific.
Former England international too, as the half-time whistle sounds. How would you sum up that first half then?
I thought it was brilliant at the start from Everton, the first 20 minutes. I thought there was just a wave of attack from Everton, the pressure that they were putting on Aston Villa to try and find to make sure that they couldn't play up from the back. But credit to Aston Villa, they stayed within the game. They've managed to get themselves back into it, created a couple of opportunities, nothing of real note, but they've sort of made Everton step back a little bit, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to stay in the game when you're away from home. But things can only get better from Aston Villa's point of view, but David Moyes will be very pleased with what he's seen.
So, half-time then here at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. It is Everton 0, Aston Villa 0.
Half-time at Craven Cottage as well, and it's the same scoreline. Aaron Paul.
Fulham 0, Leeds 0. This has been a proper snooze fest, Mark. Leeds with the only chances in a sloppy first half. Calvert-Lewin with a header straight into the arms of Leno. Longstar smashing the crossbar with an effort from the edge of the D. I'm not one for inane stats, but an XG of 0 and 0.24 tells us tale. 0-0.
Still playing at Selhurst Park, and it's goalless there this afternoon. John Bennett.
Yeah, Palace 0, Sunderland 0, but Sunderland more than holding their own against the team. Unbeaten here at Selhurst Park since February. Talby with a decent chance at the back post, charged down. Palace 0, Sunderland 0.
No doubt what the story is, or who the story is at St James's Park this afternoon. Mike Minay.
Yeah, how quickly they've forgotten Alexander Isak. Nick Voltemada, the £69 million signing from Stuttgart, has scored on his debut. A header from Jacob Murphy's cross. Here is Murphy again now on the edge of the D with a low shot that's blocked. Tonali will pick up the loose range and hits the post as Newcastle look for that second goal. They've already had one ruled out from VAR now. Tonali's hit the base at the right post, rolled along the byline, and it's still Newcastle 1, Wolves 0.
Dean Hassan has been sent off for Real Madrid this afternoon in La Liga after just half an hour for a professional foul. His former teammates are having a better afternoon though. Sahel Sahi.
Yeah, they're not missing him, Mark. Half-time here, Bournemouth 1, Brighton 0. Good value for their lead. Two former Bristol City players combining. Semenyo, he picked out Alex Scott just outside the penalty area. He controlled and turned in one beautiful movement and fired in a low shot, which Verbruggen was never stopping in the Brighton goal. Semenyo is a constant threat for Bournemouth, while two unwanted first-half substitutions, they've added to Brighton losing their rhythm. Half-time here, Bournemouth 1, Brighton 0.
Back to Selhurst, John.
It's half-time, Palace 0, Sunderland 0. Sunderland, I think, will be happy with that first-half performance, but Crystal Palace will feel they should be leading. Yeremy Pino played through brilliantly by Daichi Kamada in space. The goal at his mercy. He put his shot wide. He also put a long-range effort just the wrong side of the post as well. But Sunderland looking like the team with confidence after 2 wins in 3 already this season. Palace 0, Sunderland 0.
Plymouth have lost all 3 of their away games in the league this season, but they've retaken the lead at Luton on the stroke of half-time. Bradley Ibrahim with the goal for Tom Cleverley's side. Let's go into the Championship. Stoke Birmingham half-time. Pat Murphy.
Stoke lead 1-0. Good value. Their wingers have enjoyed themselves. The approach has been fast and aggressive. Laval got the only goal, a looping header from a corner 15 yards out. It could have been more. Stoke 1, Birmingham 0.
Back to the Premier League. Half-time whistle has gone at St James's. Mike Minay.
Yeah, Big Nick energy is how Newcastle's ex has praised their new striker. It's the £60 million man Nick Voltemada whose header has Newcastle 1-0 up. The cross that Alan Shearer has described as what a cross on Twitter this afternoon came from Jacob Murphy, who's been brilliant in and around the 18-yard box, creating and taking opportunities, even had a goal ruled out himself with Harvey Barnes offside in the build-up. As for Wolves, maybe bottom, but they don't necessarily look it. Up to the goal, they had been in the game, they had asked questions through Hwang and Rodrigo Gomez, plus new signing Krejci. It means at half-time, though, players head down the tunnel. Newcastle 1, Wolves 0.
Half-time whistle has gone in all 4 3:00s in the Scottish Premiership. Goalless at Pittodrie between Aberdeen and Livingston. Motherwell are a goal up at Dundee. Falkirk 0, St Mirren 0. And listen to this from Ibrox, Gavin Wallace.
Rangers 0, Heart of Midlothian 1. Lawrence Shanklin on 22, his 5th goal of the season. Claudia Braga broke free, he pushed through. Lawrence Shanklin on the overlap, he just slipped him in and he went the far side of Jack Butlin. Rangers have really had nothing at all, apart from maybe a good shot from Thilo Asgard, maybe 10 minutes before half-time. It was tipped onto the bar, poor from Rangers. Hearts well in control. It is Rangers 0, Hearts 1.
Let's go back to the Championship where it's goalless at the Hawthorns at the break. Charlie.
One-way traffic for the home side though. Price has twice gone close. Mepham has seen a header flash across the face of it. Derby haven't even thought of threatening the other net. They will be thrilled that it's still goalless.
All square there, all square at Swansea as well. Owain Gwyneth.
Yeah, Swansea City 1, Hull City 1. Ollie McBurney's equaliser late in the half. For Hull replying to Zan Potnick's 4th goal of the season. On the whole, it's been a game lacking in quality and accuracy, but Swansea will feel they had the better of things. But at least those 2 goals have given the fans something to talk about. Swansea 1, Hull 1.
Elsewhere in this Championship this afternoon, Norwich lead at Coventry by a goal to 0. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Bristol City 3. Hillsborough, Bristol City unbeaten in the Championship this season. Sheffield Wednesday continuing their miserable start. Goalless between Watford and Blackburn. And at Wrexham at the break, it is Wrexham 0, QPR 2. A Conor Cody own goal. And Richard Coney has got his 3rd of the season for QPR. Let's get details of that game at Coventry. Mark Webber.
Where it's half-time, Coventry 0, Norwich 1. Norwich have picked Coventry's defence better than the artful Dodger on the counter-attack and have silenced the home crowd with a lead at half-time. Matthias Kvistgaarden, 17 minutes in, loose-marked on a counter-attack to drive a shot into the Coventry goal. Before that, Coventry were peppering the Norwich goal, pick of the chances for Ephraim Mason-Clark in the first 20 minutes, requiring 2 super saves from the keeper. Coventry 0, Norwich 1.
Let's go into League One. We're at Stockport Cardiff this afternoon. Adam Cottier.
An uncomfortable afternoon so far for the morning leaders. Cardiff mark, Stockport 1, Cardiff 0. Ollie Norwood's penalty after Perry and G had pushed over Benoni. Andresen has hit the post. Kyle Wotton has produced a fine save from Nathan Trott, and Stockport have had an excellent first half. Stockport 1, Cardiff 0.
Elsewhere in League One this afternoon, AFC Wimbledon 0, Rotherham 1, Barnsley 1, Reading 1. It's Burton 0, Lincoln 1. Sonny Bradley with his third of the season putting the visitors ahead there. Port Vale had only scored before today 1 goal away from home this season. They got 2 in the first half at St James's Park. They lead Exeter by 2 goals to nil. Goalless between Leyton Orient and Bolton. It's Luton 1, Plymouth 2, Mansfield 0, Stevenage 0. As you may have heard Ian say in commentary, Peterborough haven't won in the league since the beginning of April, so that's a 14-game span. They lead at the break at home to Wycombe by 2 goals to nil. It's also 2-0 to the home side, Wigan against Doncaster. Into League 2, we're with the leaders Gillingham this afternoon, Notts County their visitors, Mike Williams.
Goalless at the break, but this has been a real snooze fest in Kent. No talking points, no shots on target, no chances of any note really. Bradley Dack, the Gillingham captain's put himself about a bit, but to no great avail. Took a tumble in the box late on, muted cries for a penalty, swiftly dismissed. Gillingham, remember, haven't lost since the 4th of March, but the League 2 leaders have got more in them than this, surely. 0-0.
Bristol Rovers are going for their 4th straight win in the league, and they look like they're going to achieve it. They lead Barrow by 2 goals to nil. At the break, MK Dons, who suffered back-to-back defeats, also lead at the break. They're 1-0 up at Chesterfield. Goalless between Crewe and Barnet. Fleetwood 1, Walsall 1. Grimsby 0, Cambridge 1. Goalless between Oldham and Bromley. Shrewsbury 0, Salford 1. Swindon 1, Harrogate 1. And Tranmere lead Newport by a goal to nil. In the National League, good first half for Boreham Wood. They lead Altrincham 3-0 at the break. Braintree lead York by a goal to nil. They've changed their manager this week of York. It hasn't worked so far. Carlisle 0, Aldershot 0. Forest Green Rovers 0, Scunthorpe 1. Hartlepool 0, Brackley 0. Solihull Moors 2, Morecambe 1. Southend 0, Boston 0. Sutton 2, Tamworth 3. Truro 0, Rochdale 1 and Wealdstone 1, Gateshead 1. In the Championship in Scotland, Arbroath 0, Dunfermline 2, Ayr 1, Ross County 0. Goalless between Queen's Park and Morton, and St Johnstone lead at Wraith by a goal to nil. In League 1, Alloa 0, Montrose 0, East Fife 1, Queen of the South 1, Kelty Hearts 0, Stenhouse Muir 1 and Peterhead 1, Hamilton 1. In League 2, Annan 0, Clyde 4, Edinburgh City 1, East Kilbride 2, Elgin 1, Stirling 0, Forfar 2, Dumbarton 1, Stranraer, who are down to 10, are goalless at home to Spartans. Let's go to Edgbaston. Somerset, the first finalist on finals day. They beat Lancashire earlier in the second semi-final. Melissa Story.
Well, Northants, they're in a bit of trouble. They're 65 for 5 after 8 overs. They dismissed the dangerous Northants captain David Willey, his first ball. The Centurion in the quarter-final for Northants, Ravi Bopara, he went just for 8. And Saif Zaib just now dismissed by a fantastic catch by Alior, diving on the boundary to his left. Bit of a rebuild needed now for Northants. They're 69 for 5.
Russell Fuller in Poland at the tennis.
World number 484, Olaf Pieczkowski, pushed Cameron Norrie very hard in the first set, but Norrie has won it 6-4, and the 21-year-old is feeling the pace. He was given a time violation when he wasn't remotely ready to serve after one brutal rally, and so despite losing the doubles earlier in this Davis Cup tie, GB lead 2-1 and are a set away from winning the tie against Poland. It's going with serve in the second set, 2-1 Poland.
In Rugby Union, in the Rugby Championship earlier, South Africa thrashed New Zealand in New Zealand by 43 points to 10. Argentina won in Australia as well by 28 points to 26. In the Women's World Cup, New Zealand earlier beat South Africa by 46 points to 17. And they're about to get underway between Canada and Australia. Maz.
Yeah, and both sides making a couple of changes for the business end of this tournament, Mark. Canada 3 from the Scotland win, which saw them progress from Pool B as the group winners. Australia making 2 from their defeat to England last weekend. Looking to make the semi-finals of a World Cup for the first time in 15 years, the Wallaroos. But we expect them to find it pretty tough against the Canada side, ranked second in the world. The winners will play New Zealand here in the last 4 on Friday. We get underway in the next 2 minutes or so.
Couple of minutes to 4 o'clock. Al Tansley has the news.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Metropolitan Police has estimated that 110,000 people have attended a rally in London organised by the far-right activist Tommy Robinson. The force estimated the number at a counter-demonstration organised by Stand Up to Racism was around 5,000. Downing Street has pushed back against criticism of the Prime Minister by some Labour MPs. Several backbenchers have now publicly criticised the handling of Lord Mandelson's appointment as ambassador in Washington and his subsequent dismissal. A serving police officer has appeared in court charged with sexually assaulting a 16-year-old girl. PC James Stillman of Devon and Cornwall Police appeared at Exeter Magistrates Court. He's also charged with misconduct in a public office. And Qatar says it will host a summit of Arab and Muslim leaders on Monday to discuss Israel's attack on Hamas officials in Doha. Officials say the country remains on high alert as it can't rule out another strike. The US Secretary of State Marco Rubio will visit Israel tomorrow.
Teen 25 is all about hearing from young people about what matters to them.
From the things they love and their ideas for the future.
On Tuesday's 5 Live Breakfast, I'll be in Bradford with the results from a survey of over 2,000 teenagers. We'll hear from a group of teens who made their bedrooms into tech-free zones for 5 days, finding out if it made a difference to their sleep, their schoolwork and family life.
And from 9, I'll be hosting our live Teen Summit, hearing from an audience of young people about topics which matter to them.
Team 25. Listen throughout the day on Tuesday.
On BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Bite Size Study Support.
This is 5 Live Sports with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Let's go to Wentworth. We're on the third round. Victor Hovland leads. Ian.
Yes, he does, but he had to birdie the 10th to get back at the top of the leaderboard after drop shots at 8 and 9. Opened up with 3 birdies in his first 4 holes. So he's at 13 under par as he plays the 11th, one ahead of the Frenchman, Adrien Sadier, who has only had 1 bogey and a very changeable weather-wise day here at Wentworth, 12 under par. And Alex Noren, the winner of the British Masters, former champion here, he's at 12 under. But a really good day, Mark, for Tyrrell Hatton. He is bogey-free today, 6 under par for his round, 11 under, just 2 behind.
And John Hunt can tell us who's had a really good day at the St Ledger.
Yeah, that's it's a familiar headline, Mark. Aidan O'Brien with his 9th win in the St Ledger. Favourite Scandinavia winning by a neck there from Rahib. But Aidan O'Brien making new records all the time as his career develops. John Scott, 185 years ago, was the last trainer to win a hat-trick of St Ledgers until today. Aidan O'Brien has just matched him with that achievement. The Derby winner, incidentally, Mark Lambourne, faded to 4th. He was a little bit under par.
Thank you, John. Martin Zubimendi got his first goals for the club, 2 of them, and Victor Gyökeres the other, as Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest 3-0. Ebericha Eze and Noni Madueke started on the wings, and Mikel Arteta was impressed by them.
Both of them, I think they were terrific. A real threat with their own qualities, so different in the way that they create danger, a threat and unpredictability to the opponent, but very pleased. It will require different profiles around them as well to maximise the qualities as they have, but they are both in a good moment.
You have players all over the pitch who sparkle for you, and the man with 2 goals, the first one was a thunderbolt, the second one was a header from Zubimendi.
Incredible. I think to be the way he's performing, the authority he's showing on the pitch, great. If he's adding goals on top of that and the type of goal that he scored today, then what else can we ask?
And at the back, you were without Saliba, but it was seamless. You wouldn't have noticed he wasn't there.
Yeah, I think Mosque again. I think we have to throw him at Anfield after 5 minutes or 3 minutes. I don't know when he was, and he had an unbelievable performance. And today again, it was really solid, very convinced again, very connected with the defensive line. Very impressive.
So good all round at this moment in time. Everything looking strong for you.
It is. We had the injury of Martin that we don't really know what happens. It looks like the same area of the previous injury, so the rest good. Obviously, we lost Willow. We have still a few players, obviously, unfit, and they are not available for selection, but overall, okay.
Mikel Arteta with Jonathan Pearce. The thoughts of Ange Postecoglou during Sports Report at about 5 o'clock, before full commentary from the London Stadium of West Ham against Tottenham. Back underway, as you can hear, at Everton. Ian Dennis.
Yes, just back underway, so perfect timing. It is 0-0 between Everton and Aston Villa, but I can tell you that Aston Villa have made a change at half-time. Yuri Tielemans has gone off and Evan Gesand has come on, the Ivory Coast international, for just his 3rd appearance, as Everton, playing from left to right as we look, with Njai, lays it off towards O'Brien. They have Pickford in goal, O'Brien, Keane, Tarkowski, Garner at left back, Gay, Iribunum, Dewsbury Hall, Njai, Grealish and Beto for Everton in their royal blue shirts and white shorts. So they are attacking that giant stand away towards our right that holds the 13,000 all the way back, trying to mirror what they've done at Dortmund, of course, with the yellow wall, and very similar as well to those who've been at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium too. In comes the throw from O'Brien. It was a long one in towards the penalty area. And just looking to see how Aston Villa have jigged things around. Gessan is playing on the right, isn't he?
Yeah, and then McGinn's gone alongside Bogard in midfield, so it's not much of a huge change for them. Buendia out on this left-hand side, but what it will do now is, I think they'll just be looking to push James Garner back into that left-back position with Gesson and his ability to take people on in 1v1 situations, but we have seen him predominantly off the left-hand side when he started and played for Aston Villa so far.
So that's how the midfield is configured, with Rodgers in behind Watkins, and then the defence is Cash, Mings, Konsa and Digne. Emi Martinez is in goal, but Everton are coming forward, and this is Gay. Can't switch it to Grealish, struck the heels of McGinn. Picked back up though by Everton. Dewsbury Hall falls overrun in the midfield, and Rodgers now looks for Watkins, easily cut out though by Tarkowski. Hardly had to really break stride there to step forward. O'Brien now runs forward with the ball, the right back, playing from left to right, does well. Iribunum, former Villa player. Shrewsbury have equalised at home to Salford City in League 2. Shrewsbury 1, Salford City 1. Out to Grealish, hugging that left touchline. Comes infield, they've doubled up on him, flicks it back. Shot from Garner, Beto steers it wide. It was a low ball, fizzed in. Beto tried to guide it in right-footed, and it was probably about a foot or so wide of the right-hand post. It remains 0-0. Try in the Women's Rugby Union World Cup, Canada-Australia. Mas Faruqi.
Yeah, pretty much from kick-off in. Good link-up play down the left from Canada, and then a burst of speed from Asia Hogan-Rochester, touching down on the corner. The conversion was missed by Sophie de Goody, but Canada starting this match as they mean to go on in this Rugby World Cup quarter-final. Canada 5, Australia 0.
Thanks, Maz. You'll get that on Sports Extra 2. It's a streaming service available through the BBC Sounds app, as we mentioned in the first half. More choice than ever before through the BBC Sounds app. Watford 0, Blackburn Rovers 1 is the latest score in the Championship. And Everton starting the second half as they started the first, but are still looking to try and break the deadlock here. And on that left-hand side, Garner tries to thread it through towards Dewsbury Hall. Blocks. Comes back to Iribunum. Ball inside is towards Gay. 6 yards forward of the centre circle. Now it's with Njai. Challenged and dispossessed. Breaks up towards Watkins. Watkins has got to go it alone. We've hardly mentioned the England striker, but as he looked for a ball there from Rodgers, it was easily dealt with by Keane.
Yeah, he's been poor today, Morgan Rodgers. Such an important player for Aston Villa, and shined for England as well on the international break, but he's struggled.
Grealish hasn't. Grealish coming forward, links up with Dewsbury Hall, and then in many ways they were probably guilty of overplaying Everton. The ball then was just chipped back in by Grealish, and you're thinking, have a shot at goal. Goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was absolutely perfect as he came in off that left-hand side. Jack Grealish, he fed it into Dewsbury Hall, little layoff, and he should have struck it with the laces or tried to bend it into the far corner. Great opportunity for Jack Grealish, but I've got to go back to the Beto incident before. Deno, he should score. He should have scored 2 today, Beto. That's the issue that he has in front of goal. He just doesn't have that quality. The runs in behind, the work rate, you cannot fault him for. Just that composure in front of goal has to be better.
Yeah, his record is 17 goals in 75 appearances before today. 10 goals last season, but he could easily have added and made it 3 in 3 had he taken a couple of chances so far here today. Meanwhile, Buendia runs forward at the heart of the Everton defence, takes a deflection and loops wide. That could have gone anywhere. Instead it's gone behind for a corner kick. There's been a goal at Bournemouth. Sahel Sahi
equaliser. It's Bournemouth 1, Brighton 1. Very simple. Minter with a cross from the right hand side, and Mitoma with a free header at the far post. It's being checked, but it's still at this moment Bournemouth 1, Brighton 1.
Thank you, Sahel. Dundee have equalised at home to Motherwell in the Scottish Premiership. Wigan 3, Doncaster Rovers 0. You're up to date. You can hear the Villa supporters bathing in the sunshine in that bottom quadrant on that far left corner. 5 minutes played in the second half. So Cash has come across to this near side. This will be an in-swinger. There are a number of Everton supporters in this steep main stand still making their way back to their seats after the half-time hospitality. Cash to take it in towards the near post, flicked on towards the far post and then volleyed away to safety by O'Brien. Gillingham lead Notts County by a 1-0. That's Gillingham, who are still unbeaten, leading Notts County, and with second place Swindon, the last we heard, trailing against Harrogate. They could extend their lead at the top of the table. We'll bring you news of that goal. Meanwhile, in the meantime, we'll go to Selhurst Park and John Bennett.
Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0. The game is opening up. Double chance for Palace. It was Mateta who forced a save, and then following up, Pino's shot was deflected over. Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0.
Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. Aston Villa on this near side, the left, Digne, and he is going to go back as we will get news of that goal at Priestfield. Mike Williams.
Gillingham 1, Notts County 0. The League Two leaders taking just 50 seconds of this second half to head themselves in front. Lovely cushion header from the Gillingham number 9, Josh Andrews, making it Gillingham 1, Notts County 0.
Wycombe Wanderers have got a goal back at London Road. Peterborough 2, Wycombe 1 is in League 1, and also in League 1, Wimbledon 1, Rotherham United 1. Aston Villa are attacking. Rodgers 30 yards out from goal. Out to Digne on the left-hand side, this near side, in it comes. Keane with a flying header. Dewsbury Hall almost gives it away to Gessan inside his own penalty area. And in the end, it was cleared. But that was a slight bit of concern for Everton in that back line.
Yeah, it was brilliant play from Aston Villa. They got forced back towards their own penalty area. The ball ended up back at Martinez's feet, but just 3 passes later and they're in the penalty area of Everton. Such was the free-flowing move from Aston Villa. They're starting to just find the rhythm, Aston Villa here.
Only the second time in the club's history that they have failed to score in their first 3 league games. 97-98 was the last time. They did actually score in the 4th game, but they lost 3-2 at White Hart Lane that day, as they lost their opening 4 under Brian Little. 0-0, and still waiting to get their account up and running for this season. 0-0 it remains. Fulham Leeds United, Aaron Paul.
Nil Leeds with another cracking opportunity, stacking towards Aronson, who just deflected it towards goal. Really good save by Bernd Leno from close range. Torrential downpour here at the Cottage, to the point in where we're sat in a stand which is 150 or so years old. We're actually losing all forms of replays and video assistance here. 0-0.
Well, we've got bright sunshine here on Merseyside. Tell you what, Stephen, that hospitality must be good. We are 8 minutes into the second half, and still the Everton supporters in front of us are coming back to their seats.
Are you thinking about food and drink again?
No. Here is Rodgers looking to turn into Watkins with his back to goal, lays it off towards Buendia. Dini provides the width on this near side the left, and it required Tarkowski to stretch inside his 6-yard area, and stretch he did. Behind it goes for a corner kick. 0-0.
Yeah, you can hear the Aston Villa fans away to our far side. They're looking now like the better team, Aston Villa. They're the ones that are creating more opportunities. They're now getting Luca Digne higher up the pitch. They're getting the wingers a little bit more narrow. They're causing the Everton defenders problems. It's been better from Aston Villa so far in the second half.
Luton Town have got an equaliser at Kenilworth Road. Luton Town 2, Plymouth Argyle 2 is the latest score in League 1. So another corner kick for Aston Villa. And here the travelling support as Cash waits, right arm aloft, clips it in now towards the near post. Mings was in there. Everton partially get the ball away, only as far as Digne floats it forward with the outside of his left boot, and claimed by Jordan Pickford. Crew lead Barnet by a 1-0 in League 2. We'll get an update from St James's Park. Mike Minay.
Newcastle 1, Wolves 0, played 6 minutes of the second half. The home side dominant from the restart. A lot being played in the Wolves half, but no real test on Sam Johnston yet. Newcastle 1, Wolves 0.
Commentary of that continues on Sports Extra. It might be 2-2 between Luton and Plymouth, but Joe Edwards has been sent off, so Plymouth are now down to 10 men. It remains goalless. 10 minutes into the second half. What have you made of these opening exchanges since the restart?
Well, I think the change in personnel has definitely helped Aston Villa. I think McGinn's looked better in that central area. I think he's helped dominate the game for Aston Villa so far. Luca Digne has been able to get higher up on that left-hand side, but the energy levels haven't quite been the same from Everton. And here come Villa again down the left-hand side.
Bogard just didn't have the weight of the pass to reach Digne, but he's getting forward at every opportunity on this near side. The throw's taken quickly to Buendia. Buendia does a little step over, passes the ball to Bogard, unmarked outside the area. He brings Cash into play. Cash on the edge of the box, pushes the ball out wide. Gessan now with a cross, gathered in by Pickford. So we will go to West Brom. Charlie Slater.
Time gone in the second half. West Brom 0, Derby 0. Don't know how though. West Brom should be in front. Campbell's header was cleared off the line by his own teammate. Mowat just couldn't get out of the way. Frantic start to the second half. 0-0.
Barnsley lead Reading by 2-1 at Oakwell in League One. The results earlier today: Arsenal going top of the table, beating Nottingham Forest 3-0. In the Championship, Charlton 1, Millwall 1, Oxford 2, Leicester City 2, Preston 2, Middlesbrough 2. In League One, Bradford City beat Huddersfield Town in the West Yorkshire Derby, their first win over their rivals in 20 years. What a start that Graham Alexander's side have had in League One. Northampton beat Blackpool by 1-0. In League Two, Accrington their first win of the season, beating Colchester 1-0, Crawley 2, Cheltenham 0. Sports Report at 5. The results and the reaction before our next commentary, West Ham Tottenham at 5:30.
Luca Digne just picked up a yellow card there. Both fullbacks now booked for Aston Villa. Iliman Jai just rolled him, was way down that right hand side, and Digne had no other option but just to pull the shirt of Iliman Jai.
Barnet have quickly equalised at Crewe in League Two, so Crewe 1, Barnet 1. Dewsbury Hall then, good 15 yards inside the Aston Villa half, on this near side the right, in front of the box-like technical areas here at this new stadium, as Dewsbury Hall, a little bit wayward, couldn't wrap his left foot around that, and it went onto the head of McGinn. Up it goes, then Mings heads it straight towards Gate. Ball through the Beto, first time shot, no! His next touch was a heavy one. He'd have been better off shooting first time, because his second touch was more like a pass to the Aston Villa defence.
Yeah, he should have hit it first time. It was perfect for him, or just fizzed across the 6-yard box, tried to cut inside. Terrible heavy touch, just lacking confidence completely at the moment, isn't he, the big man?
He scored 2 in 2. He actually was on target as well on international duty. In February he did score 3 in 3, but as you say, Stephen, he is not a prolific striker. But they win the ball in the midfield. Dewsbury Hall back then to Garner, and Garner's going to go all the way to Pickford, and we'll go back to Craven Cottage in Aaron Paul.
58 minutes in, and it's taken that long for Fulham to have their first opportunity on goal. It's 0-0, but what a chance it was. Harry Wilson with a curling free kick just outside the D. It was heading into the top corner, but plucked out to the air from a flying Carl Darlow. 0-0.
Aston Villa, who have accrued more points, 101, and they've also scored more goals in 89 against Everton than any other side, but at the minute just cannot get this elusive first goal. We go to Swansea and Owen Gwyneth.
Swansea are back ahead. Swansea 2, Hull 1. Bit of confusion in the Hull defence. They all stop when the ball's played from the left hand side. They thought the whistle had gone. And cross comes in. Ronald Flea in the box, taps it in. Swansea 2, Hull 1.
Been playing for nearly an hour. Beto gets a blatant shove from behind by Mings, but it's in a safe area of the field midway through the Everton half. Let's get the team news from West Ham. Alistair Bruce Ball.
One change for West Ham from the 3-0 win away to Nottingham Forest. Crescencio Somerville starts. Nicholas Fulkrug is on the bench. For Tottenham, 3 changes from the 1-0 defeat against Bournemouth last time out. Xavi Simons makes his debut. Matthias Tell gets a first start of the season, and Lucas Bergvall comes in. On the bench, Bentancur, Johnson and Richarlison. Kolo Muani not involved today.
Sports Report at 5, followed at 5:30 with Ali and Paul Robinson. West Ham Tottenham commentary at 5:30, 6:06 after that, and then at 10 o'clock live world title boxing on BBC Radio 5 Live. So if you've got a long journey taking you home on this Saturday, then 5 Live should be your companion all the way through until, well, certainly until I thought 11 o'clock, depending on how that fight goes. Barnsley 3, Reading 1, no other goals to tell you about. Anybody on top for you in this second half?
Well, I think Villa have been the better team as in terms of creating opportunities. Everton have just started now to get that press going, but the one thing I was just looking at then, Deno, was the substitutions. Both teams have got players that can come on and affect the game, change the game in a positive way, so hopefully it won't be 0-0 for too much longer.
Ball has gone out of play. It's an Everton throw that O'Brien takes quickly. Irabunam just tries to get out of the way from Watkins, and then Keane will sweep the ball out towards that far side, and Garner is able to turn, and he finds Grealish, the player of the month for the Premier League in August. and then he just slows it down and back towards Gay on the halfway line. Pat Murphy is at Stoke.
Still 1-0 to Stoke. Birmingham more in this game in the second half. Standstill prominent. He hit the side netting and he was almost through a moment ago, but Wilmot, a great recovering tackle. He had to get that one right, and he did. Stoke 1, Birmingham 0.
Everton are attacking. Grealish on the left. Just a correction for that team news. Colin Mawani is actually on the bench for Tottenham for that 5:30 commentary. Tomorrow our games will be Burnley-Liverpool at 2 and the Manchester Derby, City versus United at 4:30. Here is Gay in that shaft of sunlight that is just now over on that far side of the field on the left. Keane, they're at walking pace here at Everton. Penalty at Bournemouth, Sahel Sahi.
Penalty for Bournemouth. It's Bournemouth 1, Brighton 1. Evan Nielsen was fouled by Van Heck. Semenyo's about to take it, just placing the ball on the spot. I think there was a chance where you were, Ian, but Semenyo's about to take it any moment now. Just moves away from the ball. Bournemouth 1, Brighton 1. We've played an hour here. Semenyo up against Verbruggen. Here he comes, right-footed, straight down the middle. Bournemouth retake the lead. Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1.
Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0. Goalless between Fulham and Leeds United. Newcastle still lead Wolves by 1-0. And here there was a chance for Everton, well, a couple of chances, but there was an injury to an Aston Villa player who is down at the moment. It was Dewsbury Hall whose cross. Martinez went in for a brave save, and I think there was an Aston Villa player there that was injured in the process.
Yeah, it's Lucadinho, the left back. He collides with both Martinez and Tyrone Mings in trying to clear the ball, but it was a little bit messy from Martinez as the ball came in from Dewsbury Hall. He just spilled it into the path and then tried to recover. Didn't want to spill it too close to the Everton players, but the game's just picked up and come to life a little bit again in the last couple of minutes. But I think the concern is that it's actually a head injury, Deno, that Lucadinho's received there. Is that a bruise to the side of his head? I'm just seeing there's a huge lump on the right side of his head. And that is a concern. I'm just trying to see how he's done that.
Well, so it's a stoppage in play. Let's get a result in the Davis Cup, the tennis with Russell Fuller.
Yes, Ian, Cameron Norrie has completed the task for Great Britain, beating Olaf Pieczkowski 6-4, 6-4. So Britain beat Poland 3-1 and will be in the draw for the first round of next year's Davis Cup.
Still Dini's getting treatment, trying the rugby Masfaruqi.
Canada with 2 trick tries here, Ian. Alicia Corrigan and then Sophie de Goody, who's just about to take the conversion after she touched down herself. Australia had got their points on the board, their first points of this quarter-final, but Canada's starting to move through the gears. 15-5, they lead this Rugby World Cup quarter-final at the moment.
Dini's back on his feet, which is good from an Aston Villa point of view.
Yeah, it is. Saw the collision again. It was actually Iliman Ndiaye as Digne was falling to the floor. There was a knee to the side of the head of Lucadinho. Now the good thing is he's back on his feet, but it's just a concern of the concussion. We know how important that is in the Premier League, and towards the player safety, Simon Hooper's actually going across to, I think, just have a word again with him and see what the situation is.
Falkirk 0, St Mirren 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. Terrific noise inside this new stadium when the Everton fans are in full voice, as they were with that flurry of activity before the injury. Villa are down to 10. Corner kick then from that far side, almost drops towards Ndiaye. Tarkowski's header took it out of his path. Ndiaye now battles for the ball against 2 Aston Villa players. Bogard then will safely marshal it out for a goal kick, and Digne will come back on to the field of play once he's got the thumbs up from referee Simon Hooper, which isn't at the moment.
It's this frustrating rule of the 30 seconds. Now, I know they say it's because you don't want them to feign injury, but you can quite clearly see he's had a knock to the head, he's got the bruise to show it. Just let him back on the pitch. Silly rule.
Get an update from Ibrox, Gavin Wallace.
Yeah, still Rangers 0, Hearts 1. Gassama, though, Deno, with a great shot just inside the box, opened up his body really nicely, and it had to be parried away by the goalkeeper. Rangers 0, Hearts 1.
It remains Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. McGinn, referee, plays the advantage and then brings it back, because the early ball, McGinn was being held there by Dewsbury Hall, and Dewsbury Hall is going to go into the book, the second Everton player to be booked and the 4th yellow card that has been shown by Simon Hooper.
Yeah, I think it's a yellow card, but I think it's too late in bringing the play back. You've allowed it to go through to Morgan Rogers, and just because he's misplayed a pass, he brings the play back. Well, I think that's the wrong decision completely, because it doesn't matter if he misplaces the pass. You've played on.
Timu Rabunum, who was signed from Aston Villa for £9 million, made 19 appearances, comes off, and Merlin Ruhl comes on, a German under-21 international, for his Everton debut. They've got him on loan from Freiburg, but it is with an obligation to buy for £17.3 million, and David Moyes is hoping that he will be an energetic and athletic midfielder. 60 appearances and 3 goals in the last 3 years for Freiburg, and so he comes on.
He's a good player, this guy. I watched him in the under-21s against England for Germany. He's that type of player who can see a pass, but he's very elegant on the ball as well, but got the athleticism to cover the ground up for a box-to-box midfielder.
Got a great ovation then for his Everton debut. It still remains goalless. Swansea, Hull City in the Championship. Owen Gwyneth.
Swansea 2, Hull 1. This game has settled down since John has restored that Swansea lead. And substitutions for Swansea: Adam Ida, formerly of Celtic, their £6 million signing on transfer deadline day, has come on for a rapturous applause and welcome by the Swansea fans. But currently Swansea 2, Hull 1.
0-0 here, 5 live in the World Service, also available on the BBC Sounds app. This is Gay inside his own half, being chased by Rodgers, and then Keane turns and passes the ball back towards the Senegal international midfielder, who's faced by McGinn. Out it goes to Garner, the left back, down the line. Grealish will give it back to Garner. I think we're going to see some activity on the Aston Villa bench. Harvey Elliott is going to be coming on. I wonder what sort of reception he might get.
I think he'll be okay.
Here is Njai. Jadon Sancho and Victor Lindelof, their other acquisitions on deadline day, are also on the bench, but Harvey Elliott just shy of 150 appearances. I was going to say across Stanley Park, but we can no longer say that, as Reading have got a goal back. Barnsley 3, Reading 2. Here is Grealish trying to dance his way through over on that far side. Grealish, almost snicked it in the inside for Dewsbury Hall. Cleared by Bogart, up towards Buendia. Buendia making his 100th appearance for Aston Villa here today, and in fact it will be Buendia who will be coming off for Harvey Elliott to make his Aston Villa debut. A loan from Liverpool, but again obligation to buy for £35 million. Wimbledon 2, Rotherham United 1 is the latest score in League One. Aston Villa are attacking. Grealish, Gessan with a challenge. Did he get the ball? The referee says no, and then gives a free kick to Aston Villa. Gessan falls over. That was hardly a shove at all from Grealish, who gets a yellow card for his protest, as we will go to Adam Cottier at Stockport.
Stockport 1, Cardiff 0 here. Cardiff heading towards their first defeat under Brian Barry Murphy. Stockport have created many chances in the second half already, and Ollie Norwood's first half penalty still separates the sides. Stockport 1, Cardiff 0.
The yellow card was for adopting an aggressive attitude.
Interesting. You can't do anything these days, can you? Absolutely incredible.
Wrexham have got a goal back. Wrexham 1, Queen's Park Rangers 2 in the Championship. We're midway through the second half and it remains 0-0. Harvey Elliott waits to come on. Mings is going to try and bring the ball forward, but there was Ruhl to win the ball for Everton. Gay lays it out towards Njai. Beto has stayed short. Sliding back was Buendia. He says he got the ball. Njai rolls around. The supporters are up and out of their seats in front of us. Simon Hooper is calling the Aston Villa player towards him, and it's just starting to get a little bit niggly.
Yeah, a little bit of a feistiness in the game, which is good. It's what you want to see, but I just hope Simon Hooper doesn't get carried away and think he's the centre of attention.
So Buendia will be shown yellow. He'll then be coming off the field of play to be substituted. We will go to Selhurst Park. John Bennett.
Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0. Huge ovation from the Sunderland fans for a deadline day signing. Brian Brobby on for Sunderland for his debut to try and win this game. Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0.
Just over 20 minutes remaining then here in the first of our Premier League commentaries. We've got the Champions League to look forward to next week. Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. 3 successive nights of Champions League coverage to bring you as Elliott is on, and there are the boos that we talked about. So he's only played 6 minutes of football for Liverpool this season. You take into consideration the Community Shield and a last-minute appearance against Newcastle. Barrow have got a goal back at Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers 2, Barrow 1. Mansfield Town 0, Stevenage 1 is the latest score in League One, and you're up to date as Dewsbury Hall waits to take this free kick. And Pickford has actually come up to the halfway line and gives it back to Dewsbury Hall, who can now inch his way forward. Floats it, diagonal ball, long, left-footed, out towards Grealish. Left-hand side of the area, up against Guessin. Guessin then will hold off Grealish, dives into the challenge. Grealish quickly back off his knees, back to his feet. Fronts up Guessin once again, delivers the cross. Keane with a header. What a save by Emi Martinez. That was a world-class save by Emi Martinez. It looked a certain goal.
Oh, it was brilliant from Grealish on the right-hand side. Nipping inside, the left-hand side, nips onto his right foot, delivers a wicked ball, and Keane gets across his man. He wins that initial header, gets the flick in front of Konza, and that is a world-class save from Emi Martinez. That's why the Villa fans are happy to have him back in the goal.
You can tell how good it was. It had the R reaction when they saw it on the giant screens. Corner taken quickly in towards Iliman Ndiaye, and then a sliding Rodgers blocks Iliman Ndiaye. And then in fact the referee has changed his mind as Dewsbury Hall's preparing to take the corner. He's now said it will be a goal kick. 18 minutes remain, still 0-0. Let's get an update from Newcastle, Mike Minay.
Changes have been made. Newcastle, 2 of them, including their goal scorer Nick Voltemada on his debut. He scored, he's off. Oshula's on. Willock on for Joe Linton. Wolves have made a triple change as they chase an equaliser, but they've been far from at it in this second half. Newcastle 1, Wolves 0, 22 minutes left.
Leyton Orient 1, Bolton Wanderers 0 is the latest score in League One. The goal kick taken short. Everton poised to press. Emi Martinez has the ball at his feet in his lemon yellow in his 6-yard area. Now hits it right-footed downfield. Keane in a bit of a tussle there. Wrestling match with Guessin. Runs through to Dewsbury Hall. Links up once again with Grealish. Cash stays tight to him. Ball though quickly picks up off the little cone on that far side. Everton wanted to take the throw quickly, but the ball had bounced back off one of the electronic hoardings, and therefore we had 2 balls on the pitch, and it just slows everything down.
Yeah, there's a lovely understanding between Grealish and Dewsbury Hall. They linked up against Wolves for the Dewsbury Hall goal, but there's a real understanding between the two, that they're trying to find each other. They know the runs they're trying to make. They've been the 2 positives for Everton again today.
Swindon Town have come from behind, and they're on course for a 5th straight win. Swindon 2, Harrogate 1. They look to match Gillingham, the leaders, stride for stride at the top. Here is O'Brien trying to power his way forward, being pulled back by Rodgers, and O'Brien does well. Fires in the cross off the legs of Digne, and Everton get a throw right down by the corner flag. Mansfield Town have equalised at home to Stevenage in League One at Field Mill. Mansfield 1, Stevenage 1. And Tino Barry is going to be coming on for Everton, so I would imagine that will be for better, wouldn't it? Like for like, for the young forward that they signed from Villarreal. Indeed it will. So O'Brien with a long throw into the penalty area, and that was met very forcefully by Mings. Downward header, and then that will be blocked, the attempted clearance by O'Brien, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. So Tino Barry's going to come on, and where will we go next? And it's Bournemouth Sahel Sahi.
15 minutes to play here. Bournemouth leading Brighton by 2-1, but this game very much on a knife edge. Brighton have made 3 changes in the last 5 minutes, and they're going forward in search of a second equaliser. Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1.
He's had chances to take get the goal today, Beto, but as he gets a pat on the back from David Moyes, unable to do so. That's why we're still locked at 0-0 with about 15 minutes remaining, as we will go to Crystal Palace. Who's just had a chance? John Bennett.
A big chance for Crystal Palace. Palace 0, Sunderland 0. Brilliant save by the Sunderland goalkeeper Robin Roos to deny Kamada. Low shot, great one-handed save. Palace 0, Sunderland 0.
Goalless there, goalless here, also goalless at Fulham, Aaron Paul.
Yeah, still 0-0. A couple of big chances for Fulham. Rodrigo Muniz with a header, well saved by Carl Dolan. Then Emil Smith-Rowe clipping the outside of the post with a shot. Record signing Kevin is on for Fulham. 0-0.
Throw for Everton. O'Brien to take it, goes infield towards Keane. These are the latest scores in the Scottish Premiership. Aberdeen 0, Livingston 0, Dundee 1, Motherwell 1, Falkirk 0, St Mirren 1. Rangers still trailing to Hearts by a goal to nil at Ibrox. Lawrence Shanklin with that first half goal that would take Hearts 3 points clear of Celtic, who play tomorrow at Kilmarnock. Aston Villa have got a free kick, which has been knocked short and square by Mings to Konsa. Got his first goal for England in midweek in that impressive performance against Serbia in Belgrade. McGinn now towards Mings, over the halfway line, along the ground, laid off by Elliott. Cash just forced to retreat a little bit, still inside the Villa half, out towards Gessan, but it's a nice gentle walking pace, isn't it, Stephen?
Yeah, they're not in a rush to lose the ball here, Aston Villa. They realise that whenever Everton pick up the ball, the pace of the game picks up, and this is the style that Unai Emery likes his teams to play in. But now we see that tussling, that gritty determination from Everton as they win the ball back again.
Aston Villa have never failed to score in their first 4 games of a league season. 0-0 it remains. In League 2, the 2 results: Accrington 1, Colchester 0, Crawley beat Cheltenham 2-0, these are the latest scores. Bristol Rovers 2, Barrow 1, Chesterfield 0, MK Dons 1, Crewe 1, Barnet 1 as Pickford clears, Fleetwood 1, Walsall 1, Gillingham lead Notts County by a goal to nil, Grimsby 0, Cambridge United 1, Oldham and Bromley is goalless, so Bromley still unbeaten. Shrewsbury 1, Salford 1, Swindon Town 2, Harrogate 1, Tranmere Rovers lead Newport County by a goal to nil. So that would mean that both Gillingham and Swindon would be locked together on 18 points if it stays like that. I'll give you the latest scores in League 1 and the Championship very, very soon, as we still have 13 minutes remaining of normal time. Sports Report coming up on 5 Live and BBC Sounds with Mark Chapman. Mings to Digne, forward, able then to get a first-time cross, and Jai goes back with him, takes a lot of the pace off the ball. Out it goes for an Aston Villa throw, down by the corner flag, about 6 yards up on this near side. They're playing in their claret and sky blue shirts from right to left as we look, attacking the north stand, the 2-tiered stand with the glass panelling at the back. You can see the factories behind down in the dock area, the Bramley Moor dock here in Liverpool. As Elliott getting the booze forward, looks for the run of Gessan. Gessan with a cut back. Did it go out of play? Yes, it did. It'll be a goal kick. Latest scores in the Championship: Queen's Park Rangers have re-established their 2-goal cushion. Wrexham 1, Queen's Park Rangers 3. The attendance today, 52,114. The 2 results then, mentioned that Bradford City in that impressive start to the season, going top of the table, beating Huddersfield 3-1. Northampton beat Blackpool by a goal to nil. These are the latest scores: Wimbledon 2, Rotherham United 1, Barnsley 3, Reading 2, Burton 0, Lincoln City 1, Exeter 0, Port Vale 2. That'll be a first win of the season for Port Vale. Leyton Orient lead Bolton by a goal to nil. As Aston Villa are attacking, McGinn 25 yards out from goal, back towards Harvey Elliott, and Jai makes the challenge. Referee will give the free kick to Aston Villa. I'll quickly finish off those latest scores in League 1. Luton 2, Plymouth 2, Mansfield 1, Stevenage 1, Peterborough lead Wickham by 2-1. That would be their first win of the season. Stockport County are leading this morning's leaders, Cardiff by a goal to nil, and Wigan Athletic lead Doncaster Rovers by 3-0. We've got just over 10 minutes to go of normal time. Aston Villa have got a free kick that Cash is going to take. Mings and Konsa are forward from the back. It's just under 30 yards out from goal. It is left of centre. Cash with both arms aloft. There's the whistle from referee Simon Hooper, still goalless. Ball clipped in forward now, and Pickford came and claimed that very, very well in front of an on-rushing Ollie Watkins. The results in the Championship, by the way: Charlton 1, Millwall 1, Oxford 2, Leicester City 2, Preston North End 2, Middlesbrough 2. Middlesbrough stay top, but have lost that 100% winning record. These are the latest scores: Coventry 0, Norwich 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Bristol City 3, Stoke 1, Birmingham 0, Swansea 2, Hull 1, Watford 0, Blackburn 1, West Bromwich Albion 0, Derby 0, Wrexham 1, Queen's Park Rangers 3. Stephen Warnock.
Well, the game's just gone a little bit flat, hasn't it? There's been a few substitutions enter the pitch, not really had an effect on the game. We're just about to see a couple more from Aston Villa. They're getting ready down below us. Can they change this game? Just over 10 minutes to go, plus added time. The game's just died a little bit, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. One of them is going to be a defensive change, and the other one is an attacking change. Marlon's going to be coming on. Lindelof will be the other. Crew 1, Barnet 2, so Barnet have turned that one around. Luton 2, Plymouth Argyle 3 is the latest score in League 1. We've got 9 minutes remaining. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live. Is there to be a breakthrough goal in the stalemate here at the Hill Dickinson Stadium? Everton are pressing. Mings with a clearance. Barry links up with Njai. Nice little turn there from Rule. Comes back then to Njai, passes it towards Dewsbury Hall. Everton trying to build late pressure. O'Brien sends over a diagonal cross, spreads it to the left-hand side. Grealish, nice touch, enters the penalty area. Won't spin out though towards Garner, and Elliott will play the ball out wide for Cash to clear. It will go to John Bennett at Selhurst Park.
Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0. Another brilliant save by the Sunderland goalkeeper Robin Roofs. Flicked by Mateta, close range. He stopped it with his body. Brilliant block. Palace 0, Sunderland 0.
Grealish twists and turns on that left-hand side, and then twists too many times, and it goes out for a goal kick. Falkirk 0, St Mirren 2 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership.
Yeah, it's trying to build up a bit of momentum there, Jack Grealish, and he'd actually turned Matty Cash inside out, but John McGinn had covered him extremely well. Just overcooks the last part of the run. Now Aston Villa make those changes.
And whilst those changes happen, Ollie Watkins is one of them to come off. That's 6 Villa appearances now without any goals. Daniel Marlon comes on to replace him. We'll go to Aaron Paul at Fulham.
Yeah, 7 to go here, Ian. Fulham 0, Leeds 0. Just seen a half chance for Fulham. Sasa Lukic just in front of the goalkeeper on the half turn, able to swivel, get some contact on the ball. No real purchase on the shot, and it just drifts wide of the Leeds post, and it's been one of them afternoons here on the banks of the Thames. 7 to go, 0-0.
Mike Minor at Newcastle.
Well, he's still Newcastle 1, Wolves 0, but the Wolves analysts in the press box here have just become a little animated, as have the Wolves staff in the technical area. Their side building, trying to get an equaliser. At the other end, Harvey Barnes has curled one wide when a nice slick move infield from the left. Well, he sent it well away from goal when he should have done better. Newcastle 1, Wolves 0, 11 to go.
Commentary of that is on Sports Extra. 0-0, Everton are attacking left-hand side. Grealish now, the little purpose, out towards Garner. First-time cross comes in, swept away there by Konsa. Just trying to see where Lindelof...
He's playing centre mid. I was thinking it when he came on. The one thing I would say is there has been another number 3 who played centre midfield for Aston Villa.
Was that you?
It was, yeah, a long time ago. So
in one of those 101 appearances.
Yeah, I played there quite a few times actually, but very surprised to see him in there.
I was just looking, he came on for Bogard, that was the substitution. I was just thinking, have they gone to a back 3? And you're right, he's in the midfield. Shrewsbury 1, Salford City 2. No other goals to tell you about up and down the country. BBC Radio 5 Live. Apart from Oldham have just taken the lead at Boundary Park, and that might be the end of Bromley's unbeaten start to the season. Oldham 1, Bromley 0 is in League 2. So, Martinez made that terrific save to keep out Keane's header. Ball up over the head of Marlon and gathered in by Pickford. Marlon's leading the line now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, and Harvey Elliott's just playing in behind him. I don't think I'd say about Harvey Elliott is hasn't been able to impact this game whatsoever in the second half since coming onto the pitch.
Here is Grealish, holds off Cash, out to Dewsbury Hall. Garner's forward on the overlap if he can get the ball to him. He was hauled to the ground though by Guessin. That will be a free kick to Everton. Update from the Hawthorns, Charlie Slater.
83 minutes on the clock, purely against the run of play. Derby are in front. Substitute Andy Vyman took his time, found the bottom corner. It's West Brom 0, Derby 1.
Former Aston Villa player could provide Derby County with their first win of the season and end West Bromwich Albion's unbeaten start to the season. This free kick then for Everton will remain 0-0. We've got about 5 and a bit minutes remaining. They take it short towards Grealish, teases his way forward, lays it off then to Garner. He goes square. This is Rawle, who's going to shoot from distance. It was a good 30 yards out, right-footed, always on the rise. Penalty at Ibrox, Gavin Wallace.
Harry Milne was upended, he burst into the box, then up, and Lawrence Shanklin, after a lengthy VAR check, will step up now. He takes 5, 6, 7, 8 steps back. Just takes a little bit of a breather. Referee not quite happy with how everyone is standing yet. Elton Kabangu's been told of Harris just to watch his foot on the line at the edge of the D. The whistle goes now. Lawrence Shanklin will step up. Can he double Hearts' lead away here at Rangers? He goes to the right foot. Jack Bullen saves it. Shanklin there the rebound, and it's another goal for Hearts. That is Rangers 0, Hearts 2. Shanklin with his 6th of the season, his 2nd of the day, and Rangers are all over the place. Rangers 0, Hearts 2.
Well, Russell Martin was under severe pressure going into the Old Firm game against Celtic, which they drew in that 0-0 draw before the international break. We said then it was their worst start in 42 years. That pressure will only mount, I'm sure. Chesterfield 1, MK Dons 1. 0-0 it remains here. This is 5 Live. And the World Service with 4 minutes remaining. This is Mings now over the halfway line. Out to this near left-hand side. Digne back with Mings. Mind you, talking about a worse start. Failure to win here today for Aston Villa will be their worst start in 28 years. McGinn tries to hold off Rawle. Gay comes in to help out. Referee says his shirt was being pulled. It'll be an Aston Villa free kick on the halfway line.
Yeah, I think the shirt was being pulled a long time before, and Simon Hooper just wanted to see whether McGinn could roll his way out of that situation. We've seen it many a time, so he obviously knows the style of John McGinn, but he did get to the right decision eventually. But it's interesting watching Unai Emery and David Moyes both on the edge of the technical areas. Unai Emery's near enough on the halfway line on the pitch.
Marlon lays it off. Rodgers looks for the return ball. He's overhit it. Marlon was running away from it anyway, and it went straight out of play for a goal kick. Only 4 teams have failed to score in the first 4 of a Premier League season. The last was Crystal Palace in the 17-18 campaign, when they actually failed to score in their first 7 matches. But with 3 minutes remaining, this is heading for a goalless stalemate. Here is Rawle in the midfield, the German under-21 international. Passes it out wide to this near side, the right. And O'Brien towards Njai. Tries to roll away from Digne, rolls to the floor, loses the ball. McGinn picks it up now for Aston Villa. McGinn through the centre circle. Cash joins the attack. Lindelof playing in the midfield. He was signed on a free 2-year deal on deadline day. Jadon Sancho, his former Manchester United teammate, not utilised, as Newport County have equalised at Prenton Park. Tranmere 1, Newport County 1 is the latest score in League 2. Aston Villa have the ball. We have 2 minutes of normal time remaining. Unai Emery is hopping in that tiny technical area down below. Very, very animated.
I think there's a feeling from him is that he wants his team to speed up the process. They're in Everton.
Ball forward, up towards Barry. Mings has to come across. Barry accelerates. And Barry has the shot as he goes in left-footed. Mings diverts it behind for a corner kick. He did well, Mings.
He did superbly well, because he just slowed himself down. He knew exactly where he wanted Barry to go. If he'd have dived in and been any quicker to get across, he allows Barry to cut inside. He didn't allow that to happen. The corner's been taken though.
Corner taken quickly, and here is Grealish inside that left side of the penalty area. Back to Dewsbury Hall. That was blocked. Comes out to Tarkowski. O'Brien now right hand side of the penalty area, looks to turn, wins a corner. Marlon got the block in. 0-0 corner kick to Everton.
Yeah, pressure from Everton late on. A good period of possession, good period of pressure for Everton. Big chance now to fizz one under the crossbar, put Emi Martinez under pressure. It's something that they've been looking to do at every opportunity. Tarkowski's round Martinez, Barry's round him, Michael Keane's round him, making life difficult for him.
So Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1. No goals at Palace, Fulham or here. Newcastle still lead Wolves by 1-0. But Everton have back this corner kick on this near side, the right. And by my watch, we've just entered the last 60 seconds of normal time. Dewsbury Hall to take it. Iliman and Jai is available if you want the short one. They don't. They put it into the mixer. And it's pushed away by Martinez. Collected left-hand side of the penalty area by Grealish. Grealish pulls it back. Garner's first-time shot. block from McGinn, loops onto the roof of the net behind for another corner.
Yeah, superb John McGinn, brilliant from Grealish initially, just to draw a couple of Aston players towards him to allow that space for Garner to get the shot in, but McGinn throws his body on the line. Now it's about the composure from Everton. It took another quick one.
Another quick one on the left hand side again to Grealish. He wants Garner to come to the edge of the area. Grealish tries to create that shooting opportunity. In the end, he sliced it, miscued it, comes out towards Njai. He shoots it, strikes the chest of Konsa, and Aston Villa get the ball away, and it goes out for an Everton throw, and Everton will try and maintain this pressure as 5 minutes have added on time. Dewsbury Hall back towards Gay. Out it goes to Grealish. He's the go-to man. Grealish controls the ball, left corner of the area. Grealish goes on the outside. Grealish finds Keane, and Keane throws himself at it, comes off the top of his head and goes out wide for a goal kick as we go to Selhurst Park and John Bennett.
It's Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0. More saves from Robin Roos, the Sunderland goalkeeper. He denies Uche and Kamada. It's 0-0.
No other goals elsewhere. In fact, Falkirk have just got a goal back. Falkirk 1, St Mirren 2. And Cash has gone down with a touch of cramp. But Everton were really building a lot of momentum late on.
Yeah, they were, and it's brilliant from Jack Grealish on that left-hand side. I'm thinking to myself, take him on down the line. You haven't taken him on enough down the line, so he gets that little dink cross. Credit to Michael Keane, he gets on the end of it, but he's always stretching, always a difficult ball to get a header on target.
BBC Radio 5 Live with Sports Report coming up in about 10 minutes' time. Martinez being given a hurry up from the Everton supporters behind him in that towering stand, met by Keane's header, and Concert will go all the way back to Martinez. Barry runs towards him. He passes the ball out wide to Mings. Back to Charlie Slater at the Hawthorns.
Into 6 minutes of additional time. West Brom throwing everything at this now, trying to get an equaliser. Malumbi's just thumped the crossbar a moment ago. West Brom 0, Derby 1.
Digne wait the ball for Aston Villa. Now Aston Villa can come forward in search of a late winner. In stoppage time here on 5 Live in the World Service. McGinn and Digne exchange passes. Ball lifted over the top by McGinn to Digne. Looked like it had gone out of play. Sends over the cross. Gessan waits. Referee has not, assistant on that far side has not raised his flag. Gessan battles for it, and it will be a goal kick. Still, the Everton supporters believe they can conjure up a late goal here, Stephen.
Yeah, they do, and trying to get the ball moving as quick as possible. The Everton fans are just making sure that the players believe that they can get something out of this game, trying to lift the noise, trying to lift the volume. But for Aston Villa, it's imperative that they don't lose this football game. It's been a poor start to the season, but just something like a 0-0 here, a point on the board, can give them so much belief going forward.
It's not 0-0 at Craven Cottage any longer. Aaron Paul.
Fulham has scored it, and they may have won this at the death. Gabriel Goodmanson deflecting into his own net. Tom Kearney running away for Fulham. They won't care. The ball's in the back of the net, and Fulham could be on their way to their first 3 points of this new Premier League season. Fulham 1, Leeds United 0.
Bournemouth still lead Brighton 2-1. Crystal Palace Sunderland 0-0. Fulham are ahead there. Newcastle still lead Wolves by a goal to 0. Swindon 3, Harrogate Town 1 is the latest score in League 2. Shrewsbury 1, Salford City 3 is the latest score. 0-0 here. Dewsbury Hall swings over the cross. Digne's underneath it inside the penalty area to head the ball away. Gay comes forward to Njai. The two Senegal internationals link up. Gay almost loses the ball and then guides it towards Tarkowski, forward towards O'Brien. First time cross comes in, Barry is there, heads it off target, collected by Digne, clattered away to safety for Aston Villa, met by the head of Tarkowski. Edge of the area, flicked on by Ruhl for Everton, cleared on the half volley then by Tyrone Mings, and he gets distance, repelled by the head of Keane, outside the centre circle, inside the Everton half. Nice touch by Njai, comes into a central area, out it goes to Grealish. Grealish with purpose again, runs at Cash, who backpedals, and then the last touch came off Grealish, struck the heels of Cash, hit the chest of Grealish, and out for a goal kick. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, you just heard that roar as the ball went out to Jack Grealish, that sense of anticipation. What can he do? What can he make happen? But Matty Cash stood up to the challenge, just did enough, and as you say, ricocheted into the face of Jack Grealish to run out of play. But Unai Emery down in front of us, just again, wants more from his team. He's not happy with the performance he's seen today.
In the Premier League, Arsenal top of the table. Ange Postecoglou in his first game, losing as the Nottingham Forest manager. Bournemouth are going to join Arsenal and Liverpool on 9 points as it currently stands. First wins for Fulham and Newcastle. Crystal Palace to extend their unbeaten run. to 15 matches in all competitions, which is the longest as a top-flight club. Everton will remain unbeaten here in their new surroundings, and for Aston Villa, they will remain as the only side in the top 6 tiers in England yet to score this season. Because of the 5 minutes that are added on, we're inside the last 30 seconds. Pickford throws it out, goes long, left-footed. Cleared by Cash. Marlon will give chase, might get there before Tarkowski. Tarkowski had to get there first, flags up anyway. Marlon, I thought, might have just had the beating of him. Well, Everton might just miss and rue those chances that fell for Beto in the first half, and then the brilliance of Martinez in the second.
Yeah, they were the big chances for Beto. Should have done better, should have had this game put to bed, or at least given the Everton fans or the Everton team an opportunity to push on and win the game. That could be the difference between winning a game and just getting a point.
Everton have been awarded a free kick. It is just inside the Aston Villa half. By my watch, the minimum of 5 has already been used. This is only going one way, and you can hear the Everton roar inside their new home, urging Pickford left-footed to put it to the edge of the area. 0-0. Pickford does exactly that. Villa's defence drop inside the penalty area, and then Harvey Elliott clears the ball away, and there indeed is the final whistle. Everton 0, Aston Villa 0, and Aston Villa, their worst start in 28 years since the 97-98 campaign, and for the first time in their history they have failed to score in their opening 4 games. They've drawn a blank. Everton get a point. Stephen Warnock.
Yeah, not a classic of a game, but a game that was on the line for both teams at certain points within the game. Everton started the much better team. Aston Villa found their feet in the first half, slowly came back into the game, and then they started the better team in the second half, but Everton much stronger at the end. They'll be the team that are bitterly disappointed. 2 big opportunities for Beto. Should have been 3 points for Everton, but it's a positive for Aston Villa. A clean sheet, point on the board, something to build from.
Emi Martinez with a number of superb saves, 2 in the first half, 1 with his legs, but that brilliant effort kept out Keane. As it finishes here, Everton 0, Aston Villa 0.